with defense or offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. Schotty and the Cowboys talked for an extended period of time yesterday. New York Jets have their new head coach. Aaron Glenn has been hired, according to multiple reports. He was the team's first-round draft choice in 1994, played 8 seasons for the Jets. The last 4 seasons, however, is Detroit's DC.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Hump day!
Hump day.
Hump day!
Hump day.
Hump day!
Hump day.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I love that camel.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
Shoddy day.
Shoddy day. It's been the shoddy 2 days, a shoddy week.
Well, I mean, it's shoddy time. It's hump day, and it feels like every Cowboy fan is getting shoddied with this Brian Schottenheimer news, if you know what I mean.
You know what's funny about that? And you and I was shocked. We were watching ESPN a few minutes ago.
Yep.
And it was at
Tannenbaum.
Yeah, Tannenbaum said Schottenheimer's a perfect fit. For the Cowboys. But every Cowboy fan you talk to says, what the hell are they doing?
Well, because, we were teased with a conversation with prime time.
Yes.
You get Aaron Glenn with the Jets. Oh, home run higher. Bears, home run higher. The Cowboys. Huh?
Yeah.
Schottenheimer? Did you ever get excited about Kellen Moore? Until it was the idea that we could end up with Brian Schottenheimer. And the reality, Tannenbaum, he might be right. He might be the perfect fit for the Dallas Cowboys. And only time will tell if, in fact, he does get the job. But it does nothing for Cowboy fans to give any excitement that anything is going to change when it comes to playoff success and, I don't know, maybe winning another Super Bowl. Schottenheimer does nothing to have that level of excitement. You watch the Bears facility today, and they're excited. You look at the Jets, man, they are excited. Cowboy fans are like, you've got to be shoddying me.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And that's just kind of, it feels like this whole organization has turned into the poop emoji.
Well, I'm just curious as to why people think Schottenheimer's the perfect fit for the Cowboys. Go ahead, tell me, because I got a response. It's perfect for Dak Prescott. Poor Dak Prescott can't change offenses. He needs the same continuation of the same old offense because I guess he's too stupid to learn a new offense.
No, wait, nobody said that.
That's exactly what everybody said.
There is something to have continuity.
Oh, yeah.
But to insinuate that Dak is too stupid to learn a new offense
obviously, that's what it sounds like.
That's a little extreme, don't you think?
We got to have continuity for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott needs continuity. Why not have continuity for Dak Prescott? Man is the highest paid player in the NFL.
Yep.
And he's a quarterback, a veteran quarterback, and you would think it wouldn't matter. You would just want to hire the best coach for the job, not because it gives Dak Prescott continuity, but because it's the best guy for the job.
Well, he's the best guy for the job because it is continuity with Dak Prescott. What really bothers me is you have Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the two hottest candidates on the market, both considered home run hires by the Bears and the Jets, and the Dallas Cowboys don't even try to set up an interview with those guys.
Neither one.
Neither one of them.
Nope.
Now, what I'm really, really concerned about, or not concerned, curious about when it comes to Schottenheimer is some of the reports last night. They go through a 4-hour interview. And I believe it was Jane Slater from the NFL Network.
Yep.
Who said that he's a candidate for both head coach and offensive coordinator. Now, that interview, second interview today or a continuation, depends on what you look at. But for a guy that's been in their building for a while, there's a whole lot of get-to-know-you stuff, isn't it?
3.5, 4 hours yesterday.
But if he is also interviewing for the OC job, and I've got some issues there because you would like to think if that's the case, somebody else is going to be head coach, and that guy should be able to hire his staff, but it's the Cowboys, and Jerry will do that for this guy. But does this mean one of those defensive-minded guys could end up being the head coach and Schottenheimer stays as offensive coordinator? He's interviewing for a job that he's had for the last couple of years.
Leslie Frazier? Because Robert Saleh's not taking the job.
You don't know that.
Robert Saleh's not taking the job for the Cowboys.
You don't know that.
I do know that. He's not going to. He's probably going to get hired by the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he's not taking the job. So you got Leslie Frazier. There was somebody else who I think was going to or expressed interest in another defensive guy, Anthony Lynn. Yeah, Anthony Lynn. So, maybe one of those guys gets it, perhaps. But again, out of all of that list, Cowboy fan, who excites you?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Of the 4 interviews that they have done, Robert Saleh is intriguing. And if Robert Saleh, and again, maybe, I mean, maybe, and until there's an official announcement, man, I've got hope that maybe it is Robert Saleh, because that guy has to decide, does he want to work, which crazy owner does he want to work for? Which organization do you want to be in, right? I don't know. I would just like to think, all right, so maybe there's a chance at Robert Saleh and Schottenheimer stays at OC. When you listen to Tannenbaum on TV, he's talking about internal things and stuff that makes sense, and you go through Brian Schottenheimer's career, and I've read more last night and today on Brian Schottenheimer than I ever thought I wanted to, trying to figure out good or bad. He's had some really good seasons as an offensive coordinator, some really good ones, and some really bad ones. But then you look at the situation, the personnel, and you wonder who else would have succeeded in that. And I think that's every coach that's well-traveled. Other than being Marty's son, I don't know. I mean, you read about what happened in Seattle. His best year was with the Seahawks. That was Russell Wilson's best year. But then you also read Russell Wilson wanted that guy fired.
They also had a pretty good running back in Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
And his head coach was pretty good at that time, and Pete Carroll.
Sure.
So all of those things, you want to give him credit for that, that's fine. He's not going to have any of that stuff in Dallas. Nothing. He's got 2 players, 1.5. He's got half a Dak Prescott, and he's got a whole CD Lamb.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, that's all he's got. That's it.
He's got a little more, and again, with the draft coming up, with the free agency coming up, I mean, he is going to go out there with 11 guys on offense, and maybe this year they'll go, we do need a real running back room, depending on what happens with Rico Dowdle and all these different draft projections, although Mel Kiper, his first mock draft today, I can't believe we're already in mock draft season.
I know it.
Does not have the Cowboys taking a running back, and I'm good with that. But when you look at it and the way everything is going through, maybe he is the right guy, maybe. But it does nothing for me as a Cowboy fan to get me excited about next season. Things are going to be different. All you're doing is extending out what we've had, but with a less experienced head coach, because Jerry can't say, well, Schottenheimer, he's been a great head coach. He's won a Super Bowl. That was in 2010, but he did win a Super Bowl as a head coach in this league. I just don't know what. I don't know. It's just frustrating as hell. It is so frustrating when you think about this coaching search and the idea of everything that is going on with it when it comes to the Cowboys.
It's extremely frustrating, and it's difficult to understand what's going on here and why. If the continuity with Dak Prescott, if that's the only criteria for hiring a head coach, then you're limited. I mean, you're limited. You're limited to that and Kellen Moore. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to give Dak his continuity of what he's been doing and what he knows. And that just doesn't seem like enough to me to hire a head coach because Dak Prescott needs continuity. That just seems like the lamest thing in the world. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke. It's because Jerry wants a puppet, too.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. And Jerry needs a puppet, and he can use that excuse that we're doing this because Dak needs continuity, and we don't want to change the offense. It's ridiculous, all of it.
It is. Schefty is tweeting out, Trent Baalke is out as the Jaguars general manager. So while they're trying to find a coach, and aren't they doing a second interview today or tomorrow with Saleh?
They are. That's kind of a strange time to be firing your GM, isn't it? Wouldn't it something you would do earlier?
Yeah, but maybe Saleh says, I know in Dallas the GM won't ever get fired. So he's got that going for him.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a mutual conclusion, according to what Pledge has up there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Let's talk about Schottenheimer. Cowboys options.
Yeah.
Home run hires.
Uh-huh.
Everything going on in the NFL. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Stevens Roofing, one of my favorite topics. I love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, and they are the best in the business. There's no question about it. I know that because they've been in business in San Antonio and South Texas for a long, long time. And you don't stay in business if you're not doing it right. Stevens Roofing is doing it right. Look, you need a reliable roofer because your roof is that important. Covers everything you hold dear. Most importantly, your family. Stevens Roofing is that reliable roofer. They can do commercial projects. If you've got a commercial building that needs a roof on it, call Stevens Roofing. You want a metal roof on your house, call Stevens Roofing. They can do it all. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio, and the estimates are always free. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call them, 210-785-0994. Stevens is now in the solar business as well. If you've been looking at saving some money, looking at going solar, call Stevens Roofing. Look, solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often improve the value of your home, and this is important with more cold weather on the way. There's even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. That's important. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered, so give them a call, 210-785-0994.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Patayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. Because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. While supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Thank goodness for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they truly are the laughing stock of the NFL. And Jerry's doing everything he can to compete for that title.
Yes, he is.
Especially with this coaching search. And maybe what Jacksonville did today does help the Cowboys if you're hoping out, leaving out hope for a Robert Saleh. How do you do the first round of interviews and then fire one of the guys conducting the interviews? I mean, the timing of what's going on in Jacksonville makes no sense. And you think the Cowboys are poorly run. Look at Jacksonville, right? I mean, they are right up there. It is bizarre in so many ways. But if you're Robert Saleh, aren't you thinking about that? Like 5 years in Jacksonville where people won't even know who you are? Or 5 years with the Cowboys, they might make fun of you, Bam, but you're coaching the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you say that, and then you could throw the Jets in that mix too. But then they get one of the hot shots that is out there. So, look, I don't know. And again, I'll give you all the credit in the world. There's 32 of these jobs, and, you take it when you can. And obviously Aaron Glenn spent 8 years as a player for the New York Jets, and so he's got some familiarity, if you will, of what's going on there. But that was a good hire for the Jets, a really good hire for the Jets. And I'm excited to see what he does with the old man playing quarterback. Whether he brings him back or they go a little bit younger there. I don't know if it helps or hurts the Cowboys when it comes to Saleh, because now there's going to be a new GM, and if Saleh didn't like the GM, well, he's going to get another one.
But he doesn't know who. I mean, at some point he's got to make a decision. Yet you look at and you talk about the Jets. The last time they were really, really good, Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator of those Jets teams.
Obviously, he's perfect. He's perfect for the Cowboys.
I'm just saying, Brian Schottenheimer, with a Mark Sanchez-led team, got to 2 AFC title games.
Did Schotty call the butt fumble?
He drew it up. I want you to run right up that guy's eye. It was not literal there, Mark. Not literal. Figurative. But whatever. No, I'm kidding. But, Schotty was the OC when they went to a couple of AFC championship games. So, and again, you kind of come back. I'm down on the idea of Schotty just because, well, that list is long. It's not like anybody else is interviewing this guy. So he'll be cheap, and that's a plus for Jerry. He'll be a yes man, plus for Jerry.
Yep.
Dak likes him. 2 stars.
Okay.
But then when you throw, he was also interviewing for the OC job. That's why I'm thinking maybe one of these defensive guys are there as a possibility. If Washington upsets Philly this week, is Kellen Moore going to be the head coach and Schottenheimer the OC?
Or vice versa. Will Jerry wait and maybe do something and interview Cliff if Philly wins the game this week?
It's a possibility. But kind of feels like if you're doing a second interview today after 4 hours yesterday, if Schottenheimer doesn't end today's meetings with a contract, then I'd say there's hope that it ain't going to happen. But the fact that they're meeting again today, and if it's a second interview, that's one thing. If it's a continuation, I don't know. Jerry, all right, man, we got to wrap this up. I got dinner.
What the hell are they talking about for 3.5, 4 hours? I mean, honestly, I can't even imagine being in a job interview for 3.5 or 4 hours. And
it took you months to get this one.
Schottenheimer's been in the building for how long? 4 or 5 years? I mean, it's not like they don't know who the guy is or what he believes in or what his philosophy is. So I can't even imagine what the hell they were talking about.
You know, talking to different people that have gone through head coaching interviews before and watching some of the more in-depth stuff that is available, and it gets in the weeds. There are presentations that they are doing on every level, talking about how you would structure meetings, training camp, personnel, nutrition. I mean, it's everything. And again, they know him as an OC, but you've got the entire organization and so many other things that you have to go through. Maybe he's got to take the Wonderlic test. Maybe, he's going through one of those personality, oh, you've got this or you've got that, or, who knows? 3.5
to 4 hour interview, and they're meeting again today.
I mean, think about, all the different interviews as you had here, and then we were at the Rudder Room in Oxnard, and, Rob and I were judging how many times you actually paid for beers or not. I mean, because you got to know if you're going to fit in. How many rounds is Ryan Engel buying?
Yeah, I was worried about you guys buying.
I'm just saying.
I didn't see anything.
I'm just saying. There's so many different things. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. But it's got to be a lot more of all the other things. And Schottenheimer, like Mike McCarthy, I mean, all these interviews are long because there's so many presentations, because so much of it is about structure and detail and your plan for this and your plan for that and all these different scenarios. And part of me likes the idea that it took them 4 hours, because at least there you at least assume they are being thorough. It wasn't a 15, 20-minute, we already know you, what do you think? How would you decorate the corner office?
Well, it could very well be Jerry giving Schottenheimer what he's going to do. Well, Schotty, this is how we're going to do it, and it takes 4 hours to get out a couple of sentences. That could have actually been what it was. Jerry explaining, if you get this job, I'm the GM, I own the team, I'm in charge, and you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do.
Do you think I'm an idiot?
And how you answer that question is going to go a long way in this interview process.
Yes, sir, Mr. Jones. How much is the contract and how long?
Well, and you wonder, length of contract. Is it, again, if it's a short contract, that just tells you the Cowboys were really expecting Mike McCarthy to be back if it's a short contract. Because if you're truly going continuity, and that's one of the big reasons why he is the guy, because of Dak Prescott. His contract better at least be as long as Dak's.
Man, or at least as long as Dak's until they can get out of it. So what is that, 2 years? They can do a 2-year deal. He and Dak leave together, and you start over.
I don't know where you get 2.
Well, I mean, he it just starts this year to 5 years left.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, you're looking at, yeah.
Dude.
I mean, you might in 2 or 3 years be able to get out of it without it being a massive, massive cap hit.
2028. Good luck, Cowboy fan.
Well,
Good luck.
John Elway won late in his career.
Oh, yeah.
You need some hope?
Dak is no John Elway. Or Peyton Manning, if they're the one you're going to throw out there. Dak doesn't hold a candle to either one of those guys.
Because he hasn't won it yet.
Well, I'm just saying.
He hasn't won it yet.
Holy cow.
Man. Yeah. There's so many quarterbacks that you judge so differently than Dak. It is.
Like?
It is Lamar, Josh Allen.
Lamar's going to be a 3-time MVP most likely.
Uh-huh.
Dude.
Hold on. What do you say you judge everybody on?
Super Bowl wins.
All right, and how many of those does Lamar have?
He's got 0.
What did you text us over the weekend?
Lamar Prescott.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about your guy Justin Herbert?
How about him? He was horrible. I criticized him as well. Terribly. He was awful in that game against Houston.
And Josh Allen?
Josh Allen? Well, the jury's still out on this guy.
The jury's not out on this guy.
Sure it is. What if he wins a championship this year? Well, then all of that other stuff goes away.
And if he doesn't?
Then he's right in the same category.
Oh, okay, so the jury's not really out. I mean,
they're still deliberating.
Man.
They're deliberate as it stands. He's in the playoffs, for goodness sake, still.
Does that matter?
Well, sure it matters. He's still got a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, yes, he does.
He does.
He's playing Kansas
Dak
City.
Prescott has no chance of winning a Super Bowl this year.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
None.
He didn't at the beginning of August. Didn't have a chance.
Not this year. He did last year.
He did last year, and we saw what happened there.
They blew it. It's comical.
It's
Josh
comical
has to
as hell.
go against Kansas City and the refs this weekend. Did you see that meme on social media? You know the commercial where the dude paints chefs in the end zone instead of Chiefs? Now there's one that's painted refs in the end zone for Kansas City. And all this talk about Mahomes getting the calls and look, criticize Patrick Mahomes all you want. He plays within the rules to his full advantage. Sliding late. I mean, right now, unless they start calling flopping fouls. But Patrick Mahomes, God bless him, he denies there is any favoritism being showed to him.
I don't feel that way. I mean, I just try to play football at the end of the day. The referees are doing their best to call the game as fair and as proper as they possibly can. And all you can do is go out there and play the game that you love as hard as you can and live with the results. And so for me, it's to go out there, play hard, try to do whatever I can to win the football game, and then live with the results based off my effort and the way that we played the game. And so I think that's what we preach here in Kansas City.
You know, when you're talking about effort, Patrick, on what is that effort on the flop? Is that one thing? Is it effort when you're slowing down, when you get into the sidelines? You mean that effort?
All of it.
That's what you're talking about?
It all counts.
Look, it happens all the time in the NBA. Players get favorable calls. Ask LeBron James, for goodness sake. James Harden's another one. You breathe on that guy, you call for a foul. So it happens in the NBA. And look, again, I will give Mahomes the benefit of the doubt and the officials the benefit of the doubt on that Will Anderson penalty. It looked to me, and I guess I'm the only one, me and the official, it looked like it was a penalty in real time. Obviously, the replay showed different. But in real time, I'm thinking, man, there's going to be a flag, and there was.
We see it now when you assume the flag. When I saw in real time, I didn't think there was contact to Patrick, but I wasn't surprised there was a flag. That's where they got to be able to go pick that thing up. And I think they will in the offseason. But at what point does a running quarterback become a runner and lose the protections of being a quarterback? And when you slide late. Again, the rule of the letter of the law, Mahomes is doing things exactly right, but it ain't right. And impossible for the defender. So different than what we saw happen to Trevor Lawrence. That guy got damn near murdered on the football field. But Mahomes sliding late, one, he's risking himself, but two, he knows he's going to get another 15 yards. He knows he's going to do this, take the chance, slide late. He's going to get hit late, but he's getting another 15 yards, and he's sacrificing for those 15.
They've got to change the rules. I mean, they're going to have to look at it and come up with something because It's beginning to become a joke. I mean, it's a complete joke, especially when you're Kansas City, and you're not winning games. The officials are winning it for you. I mean, this team very likely could three-peat and make NFL history, and nobody's going to give them credit for it because, well, the officials bailed them out.
It's so bizarre. I'm curious what you guys think, too. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're watching on YouTube, on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you can always comment there. All this Kansas City fatigue, is it actual Kansas City fatigue, combination of Kansas City fatigue and Taylor Swift? Because they are the most likable team that's ever had this kind of dynasty. And the chance that they can do something that we have never seen before, and they're likable. This isn't those Tom Brady Patriot teams. This isn't the hated Lakers. This isn't, a team like that. I mean, Kansas City is likable. Andy Reid is likable. Kelsey is likable. Mahomes is likable. They're in all those commercials because of their likability.
Sure.
So all of a sudden, one starts dating a Taylor Swift, and there's fatigue now. I don't mind. I like seeing things that we've never seen before. All the Super Bowls that I've been fortunate enough to go to, and we'll be in New Orleans, it's either Brady or Mahomes. But the idea of the fatigue part, we might see something we've never seen before. And I wouldn't mind that. Almost like, man, I'd like to get there and watch them lose. Kind of like the Patriots in their undefeated season. They lost in the Super Bowl. That was glorious for non-Patriot fans.
Now, so you'd like to see them lose against either Washington or Philly?
Well, see, I'm all AFC the rest of the way. This year I want to see the three-peat, but I'd also love to see the Buffalo Bills for a team that has never won it. Now, that's a team that knows how to lose 4 big games in a row. They did in the Super Bowl. Cowboys cost them 2 of them. But no, I am all AFC the rest of the way. I can tell you that.
I just think I think we're missing the point. And the whole country, other than people in Kansas City, are going to be rooting for the Buffalo Bills this week. And look, I just want to see a good game. I don't know who I'm going to bet on yet, but that will go a long way in how that happens. But it's history in the making. And Andy Reid may go down as the greatest coach in NFL history. I mean, if this happens, it is very possible, certainly right up there on the top of the list. And you've got a bunch of good players. You got a Travis Kelce. You've had a bunch of players come through there that have made this what it is. And I just think that Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in the game right now.
Yes.
I don't think there's any question about that. And he is. He can do things that other quarterbacks just can't do. So if they three-peat, I'm going to celebrate that because it is history in the making. I'm not going to be sad about it. If I wouldn't mind Buffalo winning this weekend, that would be fine with me. But if they don't and Mahomes wins it and they go on to win the Super Bowl, man, that's history. I'm going to celebrate it.
I am too. And quite frankly, at this point, anybody but Philadelphia. And that includes the Command Skins. Anybody but Philadelphia.
Absolutely. I agree with that completely.
And I look at Washington because of Cliff Kingsbury and because of Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn and all of the former Cowboys that had to leave Dallas.
Of them, aren't there?
That had to leave Dallas to go get a ring.
Jaden Daniels, to me, is the next star. Yes. I just believe that he is. Now, we said the same thing about C.J. Stroud, and he stumbled his second year. That could very well happen to Daniels in year 2. But this guy just looked like he has all the makings of one of those star quarterbacks that can go on and just dominate the league. And if they'll put a team around him, because every quarterback, I don't care how good they are, needs some players around him. Jaden Daniels is the same. And I love watching that dude play football.
He's fun. Been watching him since he was at Arizona State.
Yep.
And a fan of Jaden Daniels since he was at Arizona State. So happy for him in the success. And again, beat Philadelphia. I can't believe I just said that.
Washington and Buffalo in the Super Bowl. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
You just said how much you wanted the three-peat to happen.
No, I said I would celebrate it.
Oh, okay.
I would enjoy it. It's not going to break. I'm not going to mope for 3 weeks if Kansas City three-peats. I'll celebrate it. But if they don't, that's not going to hurt my feelings either.
When was the last time you moped for anything?
Not for very long. Usually if I lose a bet.
Well, you lose a lot of them.
Well, I do. It depends on how big the bet is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mope for long. I mean, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
It's way too early to talk mock drafts, but Mel Kiper dropped one, and we're talking about it. We'll dive into that next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
We've given Edwin and Vic the day off for Martin Luther King Day. I didn't realize. No, this is it's like corporate mandated.
It's kind of like
only whites working
it's
today.
It's kind of like being Jewish on Christmas Day.
Damn it! He sucks.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out, from small degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders. I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It is the Blitz, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. What time is it in Paris right now? Windhorst is on TV, live in Paris. Beautiful setup shot in front of the Eiffel Tower. And either looks like he just woke up in the middle of the night or he had too much wine at dinner and went, oh, crap, I still got to go on TV. You want a live shot? It's only 9:41 p.m. in Paris? Man.
Yeah.
Windhorst looks like he's had a hell of a day.
It looks really cold in Paris. He had a knit hat on, looked like he was freezing his butt off.
Yeah, well, yes. Maybe that's why his eyes were all watery.
Maybe
it's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold. And probably mentally it's colder because don't they go Celsius as opposed to Fahrenheit?
I have no idea what they do. I'm sure they do. Well, what is it? If it's 30 degrees, what is it?
I don't know.
0?
I mean, look at Windhorst on TV. Guy looks miserable.
He does.
Looks like he was standing outside on the Riverwalk yesterday, or that Jim Cantore guy standing down there in Galveston with all that snow.
Well, I mean, it's
crazy.
It's got to be.
Blitz says it's 46 degrees right now in Paris.
It's got to be the middle of the night.
Well, it's 9:41.
Is that what it is?
That. Yes.
Oh, how did you see that?
Pledge put the little clock up on the screen.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Oh, nobody told me.
Oh, it's right there.
What? Dude, I'm looking at other things. It's like I got other things. I'm looking at where we're going next.
Can you not multitask?
A little clock on the screen?
I mean, he popped it right up there and then took it down.
Well, why'd you do that?
Well, what do you mean, why'd he do that?
Well, you could leave it up there a
Because
while.
I acknowledged that I saw the time.
Well, he needs both of us to acknowledge then, doesn't he?
It'd be there all day if that were the case.
I'll do that too, Pledge. Boom.
I mean, he asked for the time, I gave the time, and then he asked for the weather, and I gave the weather. I had to make room.
46 degrees seems a little warmer than what I see people out there in.
Well, and he's got the breath coming out
and all,
too,
all
right?
of that,
Yeah.
yes. You know it's cold when you could see your breath.
Yes.
46 degrees.
Hell, it's warm. It's warmer there than it is here.
Well, according to my laptop, it's 49 and sunny outside.
It's not 49.
That's what my laptop says.
Come on.
Let's see what my phone says.
49.
Look at that. My phone says 51. What does your phone say?
Well, I'm going to say, it says 50. Look at that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got 49.
Day. Beautiful day outside. Tomorrow it's supposed to be up to 55.
All right, Joe. What is the feels like temperature?
I don't care what the feels like temperature is. If I go outside, it's probably going to feel like it's 55.
Well, I don't know. Wind gusts up to 17 miles an hour. Generally, when it's windy and it's cold, the temperature feels like is going to be colder than warmer. So if it's 50 on your phone, it's not going to feel 55 with the wind.
Well, dude, I actually got out today. I had to get gas. Didn't need a jacket. It was perfect. Wasn't cold at all. Sunshine.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. This whole feels like thing is ridiculous. Feels like. It's somebody's opinion. That's all it is.
It's not an opinion.
It's somebody's opinion.
No.
Hey, Joe, it's 50 degrees outside, but you know what? I feel like it's 32. I mean, it's a made-up thing. Come on.
You know, Bill Taylor was on the other day and explained the science to come up with the feels like temperature.
Uh-huh.
So it's not made up. It is science.
Well, it's science. Okay. So I'm sure you're going outside. And I just wonder how many of you do this. How many of you go outside on a day and, you know, man, it really feels like it's 30 degrees. And it turns out it's, 40. I mean, are you ever thinking that?
No.
Never. Never are you thinking that. Walk outside, man, it's cold out here. It feels like it's 25. Nobody does that.
No, normally you come up with sayings like Josh Jimenez. Feels like it's as cold as a witch's.
There you go. Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
But they can't say that on the evening news.
Well, they could. People would understand that. It's cold as a witch's boob. I mean,
you can't say boob. It doesn't sound as good.
You can't say boob?
Well, no, I mean, you can say boob. It just doesn't flow as well.
It's the same.
Yeah.
I don't get it, and I never will. It makes no sense to me. It just makes you feel colder than the temperature actually is, and it's in your brain then.
Because with the wind, it is colder than the actual temperature, but they can't measure that with a thermometer, so that's why they came up with the feels like temperature.
But if you're watching the weather and you're about to go out, and Bill Taylor says, it's 35, but it feels like 25, well, you're automatically going to be colder because you're walking outside. Yeah, Bill Taylor says it feels like 25,
Oh, Bill Taylor, I mean, you tell me that.
He thinks it's right.
I better zip this coat up.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe add a scarf.
Just tell me it's 35. What the hell? I don't need to know what it feels like. I'll let you know what it feels like.
I would rather know actually what it feels like as opposed to what it actually is.
I'll let you know what it feels like. Yeah, I mean,
you're going to bitch no matter what. If it's under 40, you're complaining.
You've got your own brain. You could say what it feels like outside. It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all you need to know. Give a damn what it feels like. It's cold.
Feels like it's going to snow outside.
So there you go. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, man. We get a little too technical sometimes. This didn't happen back, 20 years ago. It's kind of like you watch the weather and it's 32 outside. You know what? It's cold. It's 32 outside. It's 32, but it feels like 25.
You kids get off my lawn!
Who the hell can determine 32 to 25? I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, you take the actual air temperature and the wind. I mean, there is science. I mean, we went over this with Bill Taylor. There was a reason that guy had 9 minutes of weather every night, and you had 2.5 for sports.
Yeah.
Because people want to know these kind of things.
Exactly. I don't get it.
Fred Work says you're having your own weather, Woody, right now.
A little bit. Yeah, to the other extreme, though.
Well, and you have to get excited because when it's this cold outside.
You had a little turtle going in and out. Man, feels like it's 25 outside. I'm going back in the cage.
The shrinkage meter?
Yes. Maybe that's what you ought to do. You walk outside, you whip it out, and how much is shrinkage? There's
this cold outside. You're not whipping anything out.
There's a scientific
Don't pee outside.
fact.
I'm peeing off the back patio tonight. I can promise you that.
Wow. I don't want a big long thing down there.
What?
I don't know why I said that because actually I do.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
So Joe Mixon got fined by the NFL for saying something that he did not say in complaining about the referees. They'll fix this.
Well, they have to.
Do they?
I mean, the NFL looks really stupid about now, and they're going to appeal it, and anybody that hears the appeal is going to say, well, that was stupid.
So was it TJ Houshmandzadeh that was quoted in an article in Sports Illustrated? And Mixon is also in the article, and they find Mixon. Whoever read the article went, that son of a, fine him $25,000.
I'm not sure. It was a tweet by somebody. I didn't see who the tweet was by, but that tweet was mentioned in an article in Sports Illustrated. And I guess the genius at the NFL that monitors that stuff, so Joe Mixon's calling the officials crap.
Yep.
Fine him.
$25,000.
$25,000.
Yeah, Will Anderson has yet to be fined for his comments on the referees.
I could see Will Anderson. He actually criticized the officials after the game.
Did he?
Well, yeah. He said,
no, I don't think he criticized him. I think he was being honest.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you're being honest or not, does it? He said, look, we knew we were going to have to play against the refs. I mean, to me, that's critical of the refs.
I think if you're criticizing the refs, you'd be very specific on a call.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was obviously the call against him, right?
Sure.
Which in real time I thought was I thought he hit him in the helmet. That's why we need replay. On that we agree.
Mm-hmm.
We need replay because real time it's hard. I don't care. It's hard for officials to determine sometimes. I thought it was a penalty, but you see the replay? It's not.
I'm all in favor of the sky judge, replay assist. We've talked about it many times on this show, and having the firsthand experience with the Alliance League and watching how it worked. Because when we first got into that league, and I remember conversations with Daryl Johnston, leading up to how was this actually going to work? Are they going to call holding on every play? Are they going to – and – It was flawless, in the Alliance. So, and you've seen it in the other spring leagues. The way they do it in college football, it's damn time the NFL adds that on a more regular basis. There was a call in a game the other day where Joe Buck was like, I never saw the flag. And there were people wondering, did that call come in? They pick that. They throw that flag, the face mask. They throw that flag from New York, which they're not allowed to do yet. But it kind of feels like they did. And why not? With the technology that we have and with the amount of gambling that is now legal in so many places, Texas hopefully soon, they've got to get it right because you look at, I mean, just the littlest of things is costing people money, whether, because you can do props on – penalties or, was a touchdown taken away because of a penalty that shouldn't have been called. There's so many things there that are in play, and not to mention, just the overall lines. But some of these actually determine the outcome of a game, like the one with Minnesota and Sam Darnold, the face mask that wasn't called in the end zone. That changed the outcome of a game.
It did. And the way I understand it, they've got replay assist. But not everything can be. Well, you can't use that for everything. That's what they've got to change. And so if you go to replay assist, you got to be able to determine. Look, that was not helmet to helmet. It wasn't just on Patrick Mahomes. It was the Rams got screwed in that Philly game when a defensive back came across the middle and lit up whoever that receiver was, and it was called targeting, and it was ridiculous. His helmet was nowhere near the receiver's head, or defenseless receiver, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of anyway, defenseless receiver. Are you playing football or you're not?
Well, that's it, but he went in the head and neck area.
No, but it wasn't any worse than or better than what Will Anderson did.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you look at some of these rules, and the refs are taught, throw the flag when in doubt. And if that's the case, there's got to be an ability to pick them up after you see the replay. The replay assist is speeding things up with stuff that's there. One of the other rules I like in the UFL is you've got that universal challenge. You can challenge any call on there because some are reviewable, some aren't. But, man, there's one play. If you see it, you can challenge anything.
You've got one shot, right?
Yeah. And, quite honestly, I don't want to give them unlimited, but, coaches are also very careful when they're going to use that thing, to use it early in the game, to use it late in the game. It's but again, with all the camera angles that we have now and the quality of television that we all have now, if we at home see it and the refs don't, they've got to be able to fix that.
It's more of a momentum thing, too, on some of those, and that was the case against the Will Anderson call. Because I think it was a third down play, was it not? So the Kansas City would have had to punt. They didn't the very next play. I don't know if that was a penalty or not, but Houston forgot to cover Travis Kelce. He was wide open.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't know. Was that Patrick Mahomes' fault? Was that the officials? They flat out forgot to cover Kelce. So, I don't know. You can look at a lot of things, and it's hard to determine if one call or even two calls during the period of a game is what cost you the game. And I know it makes Texan fan feel a lot better because they think they got screwed by the refs. you might want to cover that Travis Kelce guy, and they didn't do a very good job of that all day.
Yeah, when playoff time is Kelce time. He's going to show up big. It's going to be a fun couple of days getting ready for this weekend's championship games, AFC and NFC championship games. Both games here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Now, there's one politician that is getting ready for the game, but she's got to take a spelling class first. We'll explain. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you need your logo, anything put on any kind of gear, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. And if you're like the mayor of Philadelphia and you can't spell, don't worry. Sam will help you make sure you've got it spelled right when you get put it on a jacket, a coat, a half zip, any of that cold weather gear. With the rodeo around the corner, you need anything, go see Sam. Whether it's cold weather gear, whether it's caps, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And all the popular cap brands, Katie Caps, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Nike, Cap America, to name a few. You need T-shirts, screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. And uniforms, over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries, medical, restaurant, construction, schools, leagues, and so much more. Nobody has better prices, and Sammy has all the big name brands. No order too big, certainly no order too small. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to the Big Lots right across from McDonald's, or go to the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers, this is KTFM Floresville.
Items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, one beefy and one chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
My Reason Why is the Before Work Hustle, an after-school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. Here, I stand strong. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Join today and find your why. Learn more at ymcasatx.org.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the New York Jets have a new head coach today. Aaron Glenn has been hired, that according to multiple reports. Glenn, who is the team's first-round draft choice back in 1994, played 8 seasons for the Jets. He spent the last 4 seasons, however, as Detroit's defensive coordinator. Dallas Cowboys continue their head coaching search today. A continuation or a second interview with offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. Schotty and the Cowboys met for an extended period of time yesterday.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day. 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 Hump day.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Happy Hump Day, everybody.
He is Toe Reinagel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Jason Minix. Wednesday, day after we all survived the blizzard of 2025. Did you see SAISD stay closed today?
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
It's cold.
Is that why?
That's what they said.
Oh, we should be at the house.
We could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we could be.
I mean, we could.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no.
Joe.
You know, Adam Schefter's saying the Jets are giving Aaron Glenn a 5-year deal.
Good for Aaron Glenn.
Absolutely. I'm happy for that guy. Very happy for that. I think it's a great hire for the New York Jets.
I think both the Jets and the Chicago Bears had home run hires. And the Cowboys, bunt single?
Well,
if it's shoddy?
If it's shoddy. I just think Aaron Glenn is going to add a culture to the Jets that they need badly. I mean, they really do. They need a culture there, and I think he's going to be the guy to get it done. Now, Ben Johnson, offensive genius, if he brings some of that Dan Campbell feistiness with him, I think he can help the culture there as well. But I think Aaron Glenn is certainly a home run hire for the Jets.
It's, again, the two hottest names in this coaching cycle are off the board. Neither one actually was asked to interview with the Dallas Cowboys, which is mind-blowing to say the least. We'll talk more coaching coming up. Right now, though, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
I understand spelling is very difficult, especially when you don't truly believe in what you are trying to chant.
Yeah.
But if you are, I don't know, the mayor of a major city who has an NFL team that's going to play in the NFC Championship game, you probably want to practice some things. Could you imagine Ron Nuremberg trying to, jump on the court with the Cody and spelling out Spurs and he spells it wrong?
That would be bad.
That would be bad. We would make fun of him forever.
Yes, we would.
The Philadelphia mayor yesterday at, I don't know, a rally, a speech, doing mayor things. all into the Eagles spirit.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
What?
Wait, what?
Let's go, Birds!
Go Birds. Maybe she should have just spelled birds.
Can you play that again? I mean, it's Eagles.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
Is it E-L-G?
Let's go, Birds!
Wait a minute. E-L-G? Is that what she...
At what point do you realize, or do you think she realized she screwed this whole thing up?
Is there a C in there?
Was that a niner?
E-L-G-S-E-S. Isn't that what she said? One more time.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S,
Is that a Z?
Eagles!
Sounds like a C or a Z.
Birds!
Was that a C or an S? I'm not sure. But 106.7 The Fan in Washington, D.C. immediately printed shirts that say, fly, Eagles, fly.
Wow. Look, mistakes can happen, and I guess I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. But if you're the mayor of Philadelphia, it seems like you make sure you can spell Eagles. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think you would want to work on that and make sure that that you spell Eagles correctly.
Even if you're not from Philadelphia, we've all, the bald eagle. It's pretty prominent in our country. It's not like she's trying to spell something that might be difficult. What team name out there has something difficult that would, like, you wouldn't chant and spell out Commanders? That would take too long. But it's a mascot. It's Eagles. It's not like she had to spell Philadelphia.
Well, yeah.
I mean, she would have gone Philly or F.
Philly would have been,
Phillie. Who knows what she would have said?
Look, I don't care. In Philadelphia, if Eagle fans will give a damn about a bald eagle or anything else. You're the mayor of Philly. It's pretty important that you get the football team right, especially when they're going to the NFC Championship game.
Can you imagine when she has to spell Flyers? Sixers? Let's hear that one more time, Pledge.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
I think she
Let's go,
said
Birds!
that's an E, not a C, right? E-L-E-G-L-S.
I'm not really sure.
I'm not either.
And nobody's chanting with her because they all heard her screw it up.
They did. It got really quiet.
Like,
did you notice that?
What'd you say?
Wait a minute, what?
Are you doing a Southwest Airlines I Want to Get Away commercial?
Yeah, well, I bet she did after that because somebody
egged her house.
Well, somebody told her right after that, Madam Mayor, you kind of messed that up.
Promise, it's Philadelphia. She saw a lot of birds after that.
I'm sure she did.
She said, go Birds, and they were all released.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Bigger mistake, misspelling Eagles if you're the mayor or being the former player of a team and misspelling the team's name.
You're talking about the dude with the New York Jets, right? He tried to do the old chant and screwed the whole thing up.
Tony
right?
Richardson, that's right.
Do you have that up?
J-E-T-E Jets.
And that's an easier spell.
E-T-E Jets. Let's
hear that one more time.
For New York, J-E-T-E Jets.
J-E-T-E Jets. You get excited, and your mind goes in different directions. J-E-T-E Jets.
I got nothing. I can't defend that either. I other than. At least he had the letters in the right order, and he just went E again instead of S. He was nervous.
Well, he said Jets, and there was no S in his spelling.
Yeah, that's bad. But he's not the mayor.
I mean, what are you going to do? You just got to, if you're the mayor of Philly, you just got to kind of play that off and come up with something funny. But it's Philadelphia. I mean, that's bad.
Oh, that's bad.
They're mean in Philly.
I just hope the Bills Mafia starts donating to her cause because that's what the Bills Mafia does when somebody screws up. And, man, they have donated a ton of cash to Mark Andrews' charity after his drop.
Now, is it a charitable donation, Jason, or a payoff? Maybe Bills Mafia got a hold of Mark Andrews before the game, said, hey,
Here we
dude,
go.
drop a couple of balls when it's important, and we'll make sure you're well compensated.
If this was the first time they had done something like that, then maybe. While you're looking for the black helicopter conspiracy theories on feels like temperatures and was Mark Andrews paid off, that's what the Bills Mafia does, man. Every time they beat somebody and somebody has a moment, they all donate to their charity.
Yes.
It is one of the cooler things that you see in our country, in our society. It's always cool.
Uh-huh. So they wouldn't have donated a penny had he caught that ball and tied the game.
No, it's like, dude, I know you feel like crap. We'll put a smile on your face.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure anything would put a smile on his face.
Well, he's yet to talk to the media, which is chicken bleat.
Dude, I'd be at a resort somewhere so far away from Baltimore and the United States, you couldn't find me for a month.
And Brian Eagle would be complaining. Dude, it's part of the job. You got to stand up and talk to the media.
Yes, well, he should, but
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
What's it feel like on that beach you're at?
It's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Just don't drop your drink.
Yeah, the drinks, so it doesn't matter. They'll bring you another one.
That's a good point.
You can drop all you want. It's okay. I want to feel sorry for the guy.
No, you don't.
Well, I do, but I mean, my goodness. Yeah, I'm watching that game going, I didn't just see what I just saw. There's no way he dropped that. I'm thinking overtime, or at least a Josh Allen miracle with a little over a minute to play. And he dropped it. I honestly, I felt bad for Lamar Jackson.
Not Mark Andrews. He's the one that dropped
Well,
it.
I felt bad for Lamar because Lamar led a hell of a drive.
Earlier in the day, you were texting me and Pledge, Lamar Prescott is back.
He was back. That horrible interception he threw, and then he fumbled the football.
Lamar Prescott.
It looked just
You've
like
never felt bad
Lamar.
for Dak Prescott, but you're going to feel bad for Lamar Prescott?
I did. When is Dak
I felt
in
bad
the
for
playoffs?
Mark Andrews.
When it
I called
mattered,
him Jackie Smith in
when
a
it-
moment.
Dude, Jackie Smith, that didn't cost the Cowboys the game.
They lost 35-31. He dropped a touchdown.
That was in the second quarter.
Don't bring facts into this.
Second quarter,
Jackie
dude.
Smith cost them a win.
Well, he
in
was
the Super
he was
Bowl.
a St. Louis Cardinal. Let's face it. They were the Cardinals from St. Louis back in those days. That's where he played most of his career.
And your point?
The point is, he didn't give a damn. He hated Dallas. He did it on purpose.
Did it on purpose?
Sure.
Is he getting paid off?
From the
Are
Cardinals.
you Cardinal fans? Are
Yes.
you an old St. Louis Cardinal fan too?
Not a St. Louis football Cardinal fan. No,
Oh.
no, not at all.
You like all the Redbirds?
No, just Cardinal baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why. And
What
that
about
was
Stanford? Are you a Stanford fan?
No, that's not even a bird.
It's a tree.
It's a tree, and it's cardinal.
Yes.
Don't get it wrong.
I didn't call them Cardinals. I said, are you a Stanford fan?
Cardinal.
I was seeing if you were aware.
Uh-huh.
Can you spell Eagles?
Eagles, I think so. ELCES.
Good Lord. You know, I get the feeling if Ryan Eagle were a basketball coach, he would be a lot like Dan Hurley. Did you hear UConn's Dan Hurley go after a referee the other day?
Dude, this is a bad look. I mean, it really is a bad look for Dan Hurley. Is it not? The ref turns his back on him and he said, I'm the best bleeping coach in this game.
Don't turn your back on me.
Yes. Now, look, Dan Hurley's pretty good. He's won, national championships.
He's probably the best basketball coach now.
Maybe in college
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
Okay, but he didn't specify college. He said, I'm the best in this sport.
I mean, I'm glad he feels that way.
Yeah.
The ref didn't give a damn. Kept walking.
I don't know. That was a bad temper tantrum. I mean, it really was. And I get it. Basketball coaches are pretty high-strung individuals, most of them. And but that was a bad look for Dan Hurley. Come on. Bad look for him. I didn't like it.
SEC and the Big Ten, they're meeting ahead of a meeting to try to figure out how they can solve the college football playoff issues. Interesting. We'll dive into it because changes probably are going to happen, or at least tweaks. But what can they actually get accomplished? We'll get into that coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. Same handles on Instagram. You look at where college football is right now, and I think Nick Saban might be, his comments, everything you need to know. That guy would not entertain a college job.
Oh, my gosh.
To save his life.
No, he wouldn't. Said he'd much rather go back. He'd rather go to the NFL than go back to college football. And I have to believe that a lot of college football coaches feel the same way these days. I mean, it's a year-long job. There's no days off if you're a college football coach.
You look at that and the idea that the college, and you hear this from a lot of coaches, and they either say it directly or indirectly. You can almost hear it in their voices with the transfer portal, the constant recruiting, the constant worrying about protecting your roster, because while there are rules, you know damn well that there are guys that are tampering through either back channel ways or directly. Hey, man, if you hit the portal, come over here. This is what we have for you. You know that is going on. There is no break. We've heard Jeff Traylor talk about trying to be on vacation and spending hours either on the phone or doing whatever and not able to relax because, people are trying to poach his players. And you look at a place like UTSA, if they've got a guy, let's use Trey Moore as an example.
Yeah.
Coming out of Smithson Valley, goes to UTSA, dominates, ends up in Austin. Is going to have one more year with the Texas Longhorns. But you look at prime example. Boy, Jeff Traylor really wished they didn't lose a guy like Trey Moore, but you're seeing what he could do at the SEC level, and you're happy for Trey Moore. So that's nonstop with all of this. Then this year's playoffs did show that the more money you have, the better chances of you getting into the postseason. I look at a team like Arizona State. And obviously, with my kid at Arizona State, I'm following what they're doing a little bit more. That team was awful last year. But they had money, and they used the portal the right way, and they built a roster pretty damn quick and got into the playoffs. You've seen other teams that were good this year that normally weren't, but they get into playoffs that you wouldn't expect. And then you get, an Ohio State team that spent the most money, and they won a national championship. You look at Boise State. They were able to use money to keep a pretty damn good running back in Idaho that if they didn't have that money, he would have gone somewhere else, and they wouldn't have been in the playoffs.
Well, and the question is, though, should they have been? I mean, you look at SMU, who spends a ton of money. They've got a bunch and got whacked. I don't know.
They got in.
But, they got – okay, so what?
No, but again, though, I mean, most years in SMU, and granted, with the expanded playoff, but SMU wouldn't have been able to get as good as they were without spending the money that they have available to them. And with the money, you're going to be able to buy success. But you're also sacrificing depth at a lot of places because – if I'm a backup somewhere and you're going to pay me to go be a starter, it's not like the Nick Saban days where he's got a 5-star backing up a 5-star and the third-string guy happens to be a 4-star just waiting for his turn at Alabama because that was the pipeline to the NFL riches.
And that's the old days. Look, again, I understand a lot of people like what's happening in college football right now. I don't like it at all. And I think, again, we're headed for a cliff. And I just use Quinn Ewers as an example. And this guy was mediocre at best this year. But somebody offered him $8 million to go play football somewhere else. $8 million to go play football somewhere else, and he turned it down. I just think they've got to get a handle on it somehow. And again, the NFL is the perfect plan. Do that. Do the NFL plan, and you're going to be okay. But what they're going to be talking about, among other things, at this meeting that you're talking about in New Orleans, February the 19th, the Big Ten and the SEC, they're talking about expanding the playoffs to 14 teams and giving the SEC and the Big Ten 8 of those teams, basically, is what we're talking about. 4 each. That's the SEC model. The Big Ten is 3 each, and then it goes on from there. But again, and college basketball is different than college football.
Yep.
And so we got to look at March Madness and say, well, the 16 seed beat a 1 seed, and it can happen, and that's exciting, and that's what makes that exciting. The chances of a team doing that in the playoffs, I know it happens during the regular season, Notre Dame. It happens occasionally, but not very often. And so I wonder if this format is better than what we had right now, where you don't have the mismatches that we had this year, quite frankly. And Arizona State was a team I think was probably the best of all of those because they should have beat Texas. They had a golden opportunity to beat Texas and move on. But SMU didn't have a prayer. Boise State didn't have a prayer. And so it's tough to make all of this work when you're talking about football.
Well, and again, you look at, will they expand it out? Yes. Was it more of a burden than reward to have the first-round bye? All those teams struggled, but also, how cool was it having those first-round games at home stadiums? To see the Texas game, I'm biased there, but even watching the whiteout game, Penn State, weird seeing Tennessee fans take over the shoe in Columbus, although they got whacked. But those first-round games on campus, that's a bit of a reward, and it proved to be a bigger reward than it did for the teams that ended up with the buys. So if you go 14, do you get rid of the buys? At what point do you reseed? Do the teams with a bye have to be conference champions, the highest-ranked conference champions, which is why Arizona State and Boise State were able to get the buys?
Well, and that's what this is. It doesn't say anything about buys, but I'm all for reseeding because that should have happened. What happened to Oregon and the path that they would have had to have taken to a national championship was just you talk about a non-reward.
Yep.
They had the toughest road to go to get to a national championship, but yet they were the number 1 seed in the tournament. And so to me, that's not right. What do you do? Well, if you go with the SEC model that they're going to be talking about, 4 teams from the SEC, 4 teams from the Big Ten. Then you've got 2 coming from the ACC, 2 coming from the Big 12, 1 to the best group of 5 champion, which most likely is the American Conference champion, because to me that's the best conference outside of the big conferences, and then 1 out at large, which is, of course, intended for the little special guys on the block, Notre Dame. As long as they're in the top, 15.
The special guys.
We got to have an exception for Notre Dame because they refuse to join a conference, and so we have to have special treatment for Notre Dame.
And it could be Notre Dame, or it could be another Big Ten or SEC team, and that's by expanding it to 14 teams. I don't know that I have an issue with more automatic qualifiers from what is considered to be the best conferences, because when you look at the SEC and let's say the Lane Kiffins of the world, now you can make all the arguments that they didn't deserve to be there, but the SEC in the Big Ten, you're going to have teams with multiple losses because they are good conferences. Weird that you're going to see a team like Oregon run the table, and then of course they got steamrolled in the playoffs. That's kind of odd, but a 2 or 3 loss team out of the SEC is decidedly different than a 2 or 3 loss team out of the Big 12, right? Or out of the Atlantic, right? I mean, because the competition isn't the same in the conferences. So I think that's why those commissioners, and they swing the biggest financial stick as well, the SEC and the Big Ten. So they're going to want more out of this playoff. I could see the Big 12 saying no to this. I could see the American, Tom Pernetti, the commissioner, saying no to this because they've got 1 shot at it, but maybe 2, because if Notre Dame is having a down year, they're not automatically going to get it, but the exception is there. So if they have a good year like this year, they're still included in the conversation. Because if you don't have that kind of stipulation, Notre Dame could never compete for a national championship.
Yeah, well, they could if they would join a conference.
Well,
how about doing that?
Well, they don't want to join
do that.
a conference.
Well, why not? Why don't they?
They make more money with NBC the other way.
Well, exactly. I mean, let's face it. Who does Notre Dame play each year? If USC is good, and they haven't really been lately, that's really their only competition, is it not? They just don't play anybody. They play more of an ACC schedule than they do anything else.
Yeah, a little that in Big East.
So why not join the ACC? That'd be a perfect spot for Notre Dame. But we can't do that, and we got to have special exceptions. I don't know if this is going to go over. I do know that the playoff is here to stay, and I firmly believe it's going to expand. There's just too much money. But how do you get the format correct where it's a little more of an equal playing field? That's the question. And I think the first thing you've got to do, and I think it starts, honestly, in July when the schools are limited. They have somewhat of a salary cap. So schools like Ohio State have a limit to what they can pay legally. They can pay whatever they want under the table, and that will come back, and it's always going to be there. But I just think there's got to be some changes to this, or the thought of an SMU, for example, running the table and getting there is that's a long shot. I know TCU got there, and then they get rolled in the title game, but it's just they got to do something because I think they're on the right track, and I like the idea of a playoff, but there needs to be some tweaks.
The reality, though, it's been several years since we've had a competitive national championship game.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a long time. So when you look at what we have seen in the playoffs in the past, now granted it was 4, but even then the national championship game, we've had a lot of dogs. And quite frankly, matchups we were all excited about, the games just haven't been there. You look at this playoff run for Ohio State. Longest, obviously, in history, but legendary the way they just dominated. Coming off that loss to Michigan, a lot of people wrote Ohio State off, and they steamrolled everybody. It was an incredible playoff run, and I think if you're an SMU type or whoever, you're going, man, all you got to do is play your best football at the right time. If you get hot, you could, and you're in the tournament, you get a chance to roll that all the way to a national championship. You see it more in basketball with teams that can do that, getting to the Final Four. But are they trying to create that kind of situation in college football where a team has hope when they get on there, and with the portal and with money, a team like SMU should be able to field a team that can compete with a Big Ten or an SEC school?
Well, perhaps. It's still, if you're a big-time athlete, even though the money's there, you still would rather play for an Ohio State or a Texas or an Alabama than go to an SMU just because of people seeing you. So I still think that matters somewhat, even if SMU can pay you more than anybody else. I still believe that matters. If you're a star on Ohio State's team, NFL teams are going to see that. They're going to see SMU players too, but not like they would some of these other schools. And so I still think that matters somewhat. And that's why not everybody's going to SMU because, look, they can pay whatever they want. They can go to town.
And they are.
Of course.
Navy All-American Bowl, it wasn't just Ty Hawkins who's going to SMU, quarterback from Johnson that went to IMG Academy. And there was a receiver in that game, a couple of defensive players in that. I mean, SMU was like, really? Because, man, I've been doing that game a long time. Never seen that before. But they got the money, and they're getting the guys. And big-time players that you would think, especially when you get, like, everybody that's recruiting them and going, and you chose SMU. There's one reason why.
Money. Well, we'll see what happens with this so-called salary cap that's coming to college football. But I just think there's more that needs to be done. And again, they're talking about the portal just being once a year for 10 days. I like that. And so they see it. People see that there are big flaws in college football, and they're trying to do something about it. Just is a matter of when do they do something about it remains to be seen.
Got a more of a detailed update on Gregg Popovich, and is Vegas thinking the Spurs are better than we're feeling about them right now? We'll talk about that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now injury clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to an Ortho Now injury clinic. Go to TSAOG.com to learn more. TSAOG.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. Hey, we're getting you ready for an early one. Spurs play at 1.
And we are 1 day closer to the NFL playoffs. I guess we better start digging into these games. Morning Huddle, party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Good morning, beat freaks. Who's ready to move? Let's start this day right.
Tasha's morning dance parties are meeting rave reviews.
Lose your phones and find your groove.
They need an ops manager to help their community dance the morning away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
George gets justice.
No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to 1 player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Comment there. Ryan Eagle much better at responding to comments on YouTube than I am.
Well, it just depends. I mean, it depends on the comment.
Oh, okay.
Like, I get it, like the Drew show on there, and I understand what he's saying. He said it's a bit naive to think that making a rule or making a salary cap is going to survive a lawsuit. Supreme Court is the one that set the rules on this NIL stuff. The rules, though, are that, the legal term for it, the fair trade or free trade or whatever that is. So it's going to take Congress to make laws that every state has to abide by.
Yep.
And so the Supreme Court's just all they did was rule on what's already in place. And, yeah, that's why California got on the bandwagon and kind of screwed this whole thing up or followed the rules, however you want to put it, and that's what made this.
Well, they got the ball really rolling on this. Before that, it was just all talk, and California said, well, watch this.
Yep.
And everybody else has reacted, and the toothpaste is out of the tube, and now you got to figure out how to get it all cleaned up, and everybody playing by the same set of rules. You can't have one state doing one thing and one doing the other. A lot of times I'll see the comment, but they were so long ago that let it fly.
And unfortunately, it's going to take federal politicians to get this done, and that could be a problem.
I'm never really sure, Joe, when you're responding, because you're a loud typer.
Yeah, I am.
I don't know. Are you angrily responding?
No,
or is that just the way you type?
Always have been.
But you have that angry type. Like, man, what's going on over there? What's he doing? I go like, wow, that comment doesn't sound like the typing I heard.
I like the debate, whether it's on YouTube or on the phone or between you and I or anybody else. I mean, yeah, I do, but I think it's a problem. And, just because the Supreme Court said, yeah, this can go on, which they're just upholding the laws that are already in place, there has to be a change to the laws. And I think it's a start that the NCAA has enacted a salary cap of sorts. It's not going to solve the problem. The Drew show's absolutely right about that, but it can't hurt.
Well, and again, salary cap or revenue share. There's a max on revenue share, but we don't yet know, does that eliminate NIL, or is it revenue share plus what you can raise at the NIL level in places like, I don't know, Ohio State or Texas or SMU? They're kind of hoping it's rev share plus NIL. Places like UTSA are probably hoping it's one or the other. That's the hard part. And we're going to see how it all plays out here in the coming weeks. It's going to be interesting. The Spurs, man, think about it. This time tomorrow, will be close to the second half. It'll be fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually.
1 o'clock tip.
1 o'clock tip. 1
Here
o'clock
for us,
San Antonio as they play the Pacers. And then we'll have, I don't know, some sort of version of a post-game show. But we're getting more news from the Spurs in France than we get when they're in the United States. Go figure. Pop seems to be getting better.
Seems to be.
R.C. Buford said, quote, all I can share is he's attacking his rehab in a way that, Pop, you observed him for years. The same resilience that he's shown over the course of our career as a coach, he's approaching his return in his rehab in an incredibly unique way. The relationship that he had with our former players, that care and sharing and him amazing, his improvement continues. And he will be back on the bench. not looking at a clock, no timeline given, but Pop is very much involved with the day-to-day of what's going on with the Spurs, even if he might not be there physically. And a couple of different players talked about that, including Chris Paul, who said, yeah, man, he talks to Pop almost after every game.
Yeah, and it's funny. He said he calls him or texts him or whatever the case may be, and they talk quite a bit. Mitch Johnson said the same thing, that he talks to Pop quite a bit, which is a good thing, and I'm glad Pop's still involved. Not sure what the conversation is like, or what was that play, or what was that guy doing, or you got to stress to him or to her or whatever. I don't know what the case is, but Pop's got to be a little helpless feeling sitting back and watching how this team plays at some point in time in the games, especially here lately, where they just go to sleep for a quarter or two.
Well, and yeah, but even like Chris Paul in the ESPN.com article, Chris Paul, quote, I'm not even sure if this is public, but he calls. He calls after games, and I talk to him, and he tells me what he sees, and I appreciate that more than anything because he doesn't have to do that, and he does. And quite frankly, following all the doctor's orders, I am a little surprised maybe that he is talking to his players on a regular basis. I'm not surprised that he's in constant communication with interim head coach Mitch Johnson.
My interactions with Pop have been consistent. Phone calls, text messages, I've seen him quite a bit. So those conversations are typical in terms of the things we talk about regarding our team. Trying to get better, coaching backwards, what happened in the last game, or, what are we coming out of, and then, obviously looking ahead and what we're walking into. So with as unique circumstances that's out there, especially for people that aren't, around the day-to-day, understand. But our interactions and conversations in that regard have not changed really that much. It's just trying to help our team and talking about what we see and arguing about what we think. In terms of moving forward, there's nothing that I really have capacity for other than just trying to help this team win the next game. And Pop's health has been the priority since the start of this and till ... And so that's kind of how we and I take the approach. I want the best for Pop, and I want the best for this team. And however I can help is where I'll put my energy.
Interesting how he can help. And I wonder what that means. So he must know something, right, that his time as interim head coach might be limited at this point in time. That's what it sounds like to me, just however I can help. And I just wonder how much of Mitch Johnson's fingerprints are on this team right now, or if he's just a messenger. Is he just a messenger from Gregg Popovich after they talk?
A combination of both. I mean, there was a reason he was selected to be interim, and very early on, I mean, the stroke was in November, right?
Yes, early November.
Not really that long ago, but, at least initially, who knows how much regular communication, basketball communication there was early on in the process as he's going through the rehab process, and by all accounts getting better every week, which tells me able to do more and more and more, and at home probably a lot more normal than you realize, but not at a place where he could come back to work. But he's watching games, he's involved, and I got to believe getting back is a big part of his motivation to attack his rehab. But no timeline given, but the plan is for him to return. He turns 76 years old next week. His birthday's on January 28th. But the idea of him coming back. But also, as I hear about all this constant communication, and even Rick Carlisle says, it's kind of weird not having him here, seeing him, but he is talking to him, and he is getting better. Rick Carlisle said that. You wonder, the head coach Pop versus the president of basketball operations Pop, what can they do as the trade deadline approaches to improve this basketball team? That, to me, February 6th is going to be such a big day because that's the trade deadline, and we'll know on that day or, leading up to it how the Spurs are attacking this season, because they look like they've got a team that needs improvement that could be a playoff team this year. You look at the trade the Suns did yesterday, and, man, it feels like they're just trying to clear an ad so they can go get a Jimmy Butler.
That's exactly what they're doing.
What are the Spurs going to be doing? Do they go and get somebody that can help this year's team, or do they have a little bit of a fire sale to help future teams? We'll know at the trade deadline because, about 2 weeks ago we were saying, man, this team is better than what the record is. And then they've played their worst stretch of basketball since. They're at the midway point right now. They have played 41 games. And BetOnline has done their mid-season, regular season win total revisions. Now, at the start of the season at BetOnline, the Spurs win total was 35.5.
Okay.
Now, the way they've played lately, would you think that number would go up or down? Or stay flat?
Yeah, stay flat is what I would think.
Right now, their win total is at 39.5.
So we're at the halfway point right now.
Yep.
The Spurs have played, 41 games, and my math is correct, I believe, and 19 and 22.
Yep.
It's 41 more games to go. So if you bet the over on that, the Spurs then would have to win, 22 games, 21 games to get over that total out of the next, 41. That's certainly doable. I mean, it should be doable with a player the likes of Victor Wembanyama and a Chris Paul. But I can't explain the lapses in this team, and that's concerning for me because when you look at some of the quarters, just in Miami on Sunday, 11 points in the second quarter, and it's like, well, what's going on? Where's the malfunction? And it's not just that game. It's not just a one-off. It's been happening the last 10. I mean, the Spurs are 3-7 in their last 10 ball games. And a lot of it is due to just lapses in quarters or halves, and I'm just not sure what is causing that and what the solution is.
At the beginning of the year, I thought the Spurs would be about a 500 basketball team, good enough to get into the play-in. So if 35.5, I would have taken the over. 39.5? I don't know, honestly, which way I would go with that. I'd probably look at that and stay away from it. 39.5, because I could easily see this team get to 42, 43 wins, maybe even 44, but I could also see them get stuck around 36, 37, 38, somewhere in there, because of games like we've seen in this stretch. And these two games against Indiana, which way do you think they're going to go? You know what I mean? I mean, I know, are they getting in practice time? They were at a fashion show last night. They're doing all these things that I just look at all of it and go, what the hell is going on here?
Look, I don't know. And it's going to be interesting to see how Wemby plays. Obviously, he's going to be fired up. He's going to have the crowd behind him, and he's going to want to put on a good show. But again, Wemby can't do it on his own. He needs help. I don't care how good anybody is. You need a little bit of help. And while I think he's going to play well, everybody else has got to show up as well. And look, this Indiana team is hot right now. I mean, they're hot. They won 8 of their last 10. And they come in, they're 24-19, and so they're a good ball club. And it's not a pushover. It's not like the Spurs are playing the Jazz out there in France. So it's going to be a difficult couple of games against the Pacers.
It will be, but you look at this team, can they add something and get better? Even the way they currently are constructed, if they do nothing at the trade deadline, over under 39.5, can you see them getting to 40, maybe even 41, and being right around or right at 500? I mean, that's the interesting part with this team. What will it take to get into the play-in? Or are they going to make a push to get to the actual playoffs?
Well, I mean, that's the key, and we'll know that come February 6th. I mean, I don't think anybody can legitimately look at this roster as it's constructed right now and think that this is a playoff team. Yeah, maybe they sneak into the play-in game, but how long are they going to stick around? And I just, as constructed right now, do you have any hope that this team could make a legit run in the playoffs or just win a series? I don't. I just don't. And to me, they played much better at the beginning of the season than they're playing right now. And I'm wondering why that is. What's going on? What's different with this ball club than when they started the season? The fact that they had won 19 games as early as they were hovering around 500, sometimes a game or two above 500. Yeah, it gets you excited. You're thinking, all right, this team's starting to get it. And then you get a stretch of games like the last 10, and it's not just losing those games, Jason. That's not the problem. It's how they're losing them. That's the concern that I have with this Spurs ball club right now.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. The Cowboys still looking for a coach, although the guy might be in the building. Shoddy time. RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com will bitch about it coming up at 4:35 here on the Blitz on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
It is playoff time. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Be like me and 5 million other happy players winning money watching games with their Pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up fire entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all playoff long. You can even take football and basketball and mix them together. Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Sign up today.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first, before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right, you don't have to wait for your old place to to sell, you can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Dallas Cowboys interviewing offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer again today, or is it a continuation of last night's interview? Schotty and the Cowboys talked for an extended period of time yesterday. New York Jets wrapped up their head coaching search. Aaron Glenn has been hired, that according to multiple reports. He was drafted by the team back in 1991 in the first round. Played 8 seasons for the Jets, 4 as defensive coordinator in Detroit.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
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 Here we go. Yeah. I love that camel. Yeah, I really do. And I went back and watched that commercial again.
Did you?
The best commercial on TV. Honestly, if you haven't seen it in a while, just go look for it.
Who's your insurance with?
Me?
Yeah.
It's not them. If that's what you're asking me. No, it's not. But I don't have to. I mean, it's like it's still the best commercial on TV. Or was. It must not have polled very well, though. Right? Because they took it off, and now they do the caveman and the little lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those must have been more
gecko?
popular.
Yeah.
Well, technically a lizard, isn't it?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. He's Toe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. You can always watch on YouTube as well. Comment there. Brian Schottenheimer is interviewing again, or continuing. And it's weird because they interviewed for 3.5, 4 hours yesterday. And they picked up and have a second interview today. Now, I've seen it reported as a second interview and a continuation. So who knows? Hey, man, I got to go to dinner. Jerry might have had – who knows? But, all right, let's stop this for now, pick it up tomorrow. Is that still considered one interview? Because if it's the second interview and you don't get a contract offer walking out of that, what the hell have you been doing? And what are you doing with Brian Schottenheimer, a guy that's been in your building for 3 hours where you need that long of a quote-unquote interview?
Yeah, I don't know. It's baffling to say the least. Yeah, because you know the guy pretty well. You know his system. He's plugged in with what Mike McCarthy was doing offensively. It's baffling. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about today. Fashion, the weather, changing the Cowboys uniforms. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It is one of those. The part about it that I find interesting, the Jane Slater report last night that Schottenheimer was interviewing for both the offensive coordinator job and the head coaching job. Mind you, he was the offensive coordinator until his contract ran out last week, but interviewing for the same job that he had. And I find that fascinating on a couple of levels. One, if they're telling him OC, and maybe some of it, part of the interview for hours was, what would you do as head coach? And if you are the offensive coordinator and play caller, and Mike McCarthy isn't around, say we go with a defensive-minded head coach, are you interested in this job, Shotty? And what would you do with the offense differently? So maybe those are two separate interviews. But if he's also being considered for OC, do we look at this as a done deal, or do we look at this as maybe a Robert Saleh is still in play? And if they go with a defensive-minded head coach, well, you would think that guy would pick his offensive coordinator, but it's the Cowboys and Jerry. Jerry is also interviewing him to retain the job that he had with more responsibilities if you add play-calling duties to it.
Or is he waiting for a Cliff Kingsbury or perhaps a Kellen Moore? And Schotty would be the offensive coordinator for one of those guys. I mean, you still got to have that guy, right? Mike McCarthy did. Even Schotty doesn't call plays, but McCarthy technically had an offensive coordinator. So you still need that guy, right?
I would say that if it's Kellen Moore, then yeah, Schotty could stay as OC if Kellen Moore was the head coach, depending on who's calling plays or not. And maybe that was part of the Kellen Moore interview. Can you be a head coach and a play caller? You know, there was a time that Jerry Jones stripped Jason Garrett of his play calling duties because he wanted him to be a quote-unquote walk-around head coach.
Right.
And Jerry, while he's gone back and forth, prefers his head coach to be a head coach and have somebody else call plays. If it's Cliff Kingsbury, which I'd be all for, especially if Schotty is my option, I don't know that Cliff brings in Schotty as his offensive coordinator. I think Cliff would want somebody that is more in tune with what Cliff Kingsbury does offensively.
Well, you would think so. And that would be an entire change from what Dak Prescott's used to. And I'm not sure if – and I mean this in all sincerity, and this is not a shot at Dak. It's really not. And I know you probably take it that way.
Here we go.
But a Cliff Kingsbury, I think his system of offense is more suited to a quarterback that can move. I mean, Kyler Murray in Arizona – now you've got Jaden Daniels in Washington. I'm just not sure that Cliff Kingsbury offense would be good for a guy like Dak Prescott.
Well, I think there are designed quarterback runs when you've got a quarterback that can do that. At the same time, Cliff is very much a read and react, get the ball out of your hands in a hurry kind of offense. And we know Dak can do that. Can Cliff adjust his offense for a quarterback that might not be as mobile? You look at, Kellen Moore has done that to a degree in Philadelphia. Not a lot of designed runs outside of the tush push for Jalen, although he can run when he needs to. Dak can run when he needs to, or at least could. Will he again? TBD on that one. So it's when you're calling the plays and how you're calling the plays and the rhythm there, is it more read and react? With Mike McCarthy, so much of his offense was pre-snap reads and basically deciding where you're going with the ball at the snap or before the snap and going with it. We'll see. But I'm still holding out hope maybe Robert Saleh could be in play, especially with the news today that Jacksonville has fired their general manager, Trent Baalke. He's out. So if you're Robert Saleh, supposedly going in there for a second interview, I mean, Trent was the GM and leading the interviews for their first round of candidates. Then they fire the guy. And you look at Jacksonville's history. My goodness. Since Shad Khan bought the team, they have the worst win percentage, 302. Since Khan bought the team entering the 2012 season, Jacksonville is 64-148. With the trip to an AFC championship in there, they had one good year.
Yeah, ownership makes a difference, right? I mean, it does, and we've seen that. The New York Jets are a perfect example. They don't have a general manager, but yet they hired a head coach.
Yep.
I mean, so I'm not sure what these owners are thinking or what they're doing, but I would imagine if I'm hired as a general manager of a football team, I'm going to want to hire the head coach. But some franchises do it a little bit differently, obviously. And those franchises, let's face it, have not been very successful lately, the ones that do it that way. But in the Cowboys case, that's not going to change. And I have a feeling in Jacksonville that's not going to change either, or with the New York Jets.
You know, the idea of a Robert Saleh, maybe it is a Leslie Frazier. Jane Slater does report that Schotty wants to call plays next season no matter what. So if you're Jerry, Schotty, I don't want my head coach to call plays. You want to call plays, you're just going to be OC, and I'll find a head coach. Okay, boss, whatever you need. Check's still coming in, right? Direct deposit?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. If that's what and quite honestly, if you're Brian Schottenheimer, you've been in the league a long time. I'm not sure how many other times he has actually interviewed for a head coaching job, but he's never been a head coach. He's called plays. He's been an OC that doesn't call plays. I struggle with him being the right guy, even though Tannenbaum on ESPN said he might be the best fit for this job. I just think you go from OC, non-play caller, to head coach. I kind of feel like, dude, you got to call plays and earn your way up. Ben Johnson calls plays, earns his way up. When was the last time a non-play calling OC got elevated to head coach and play caller? There's just, to steal the line from the Spurs, that almost feels like you're skipping steps. Even though he's done it before, that guy hasn't called plays in 4 or 5 years.
But you had to figure he's involved. He was involved with McCarthy, and they kind of had a game plan together, I would assume. I mean, I just can't imagine that Brian Schottenheimer was just playing dominoes all day while McCarthy was designing the offense. He had to have something to do with it. And so they've got to be on the same page. But what you're going to see, if you have a Brian Schottenheimer, you got to figure maybe a tweak or two. But for the most part, you're going to have Mike McCarthy's offense again. I mean, that's pretty much what it's going to be, I would assume.
Well, I mean, and you go back to, the tweaks that McCarthy made to Kellen's offense, incorporating his style with what Kellen was doing, then, Schotty's influence. And I got to believe, I mean, you're right, Schotty with game plans, designing plays, what's going in this week. But when you're calling plays, it is such a rhythm. What are you feeling at the time? And are you're 2 plays ahead mentally? It's first down. I know what this play is going to be. What's our second down play? It's just getting into that rhythm. He hasn't done it in 4 years. How long will it take him to get into that rhythm of calling plays? Let's go back to Mike McCarthy. Hadn't called plays for a while, took over, and it was 4 or 5 games into his first year as the play caller for Dak for that offense to actually feel like it was in any kind of rhythm.
Well, and that's true, but I think it took the offense a little bit of time to adjust to what Mike McCarthy was doing, because a little bit of that was different than what they had been doing. So it took a minute. You would think if it's Schottenheimer coming in and it's very similar to what Mike McCarthy has done in the past, then the offense should be able to hit the ground running, I would assume, right? So depending on who they add and what they do in the offseason, and that's a big if. So I guess there are pros with Brian Schottenheimer. And I know Jerry doesn't give a damn what the fans think necessarily, but this is not going to excite anybody. I mean, anybody on that list is not going to excite anybody. I mean, let's face it. Even a Robert Saleh, although that would be an adult in the room, but he would want to come in, I would think, and change the culture a little bit. Because I think that's one of the biggest problems for the Cowboys. I think Mike McCarthy was way too lax. I mean, at some point in time, you got to hold players accountable. I just don't think McCarthy ever did that.
And if you keep Schotty there, I mean, to your point, if it's Schottenheimer, how much really changes when you think about culture in the room?
Exactly.
It's just a different voice leading. There's so many things about this that don't excite me. The idea that Schottenheimer could be makes me excited, like, oh, please, Kellen Moore. Which, quite frankly, I wasn't excited about Kellen Moore until I realized my only other option might be Brian Schottenheimer.
It may be.
And I don't know Schottenheimer. He might turn out to be great, but
he's never had an opportunity. I mean, some of these hot shots that are coaching now, like O'Donnell in Minnesota and LaFleur in Green Bay, and the guy with the Rams, Sean McVay. I mean, nobody knew what they were going to do either, but they turned out to be geniuses, and they're good coaches. So maybe Schottenheimer's in that tree.
Except he's been around 20-something years. Can't say he's up and coming. He's an NFL lifer.
Huh. Well, his dad was good.
His dad was good.
He really was.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was pretty good.
I mean, his dad isn't that far. What is he? Look up real quick, Pledge, before we go to break, because you're saying he's not that good. Well, okay, yeah, not in the playoffs, but you look at
he was with Cleveland.
At Marty Schottenheimer, Where is he? He's in the top 10 all-time in wins. I'm going off the top of my head here. I've looked this up. Look up real quick where he's at on the win total list. I don't think he's really all that far behind, say, Tom Landry. I mean, he was head coach for a long time in a lot of places, and you're right. Playoff success wasn't there. But guy won a lot of football games, did he not?
He did. 200 of them.
Where's he at in the top 10 all-time?
7th.
7.
Wow. And I stand corrected. You're right, Plays. It was Chargers for the most part, right? Yeah.
Chargers, Chiefs.
Yeah.
He was also with the Browns and Redskins.
Yeah.
Can you say that? Oh, yeah, he was with the Redskins.
Yeah, it was 2001, so yeah.
Yeah, it was the Redskins then.
I know.
What do you call them, the Commanders?
No.
Command Skins?
There you go.
He's above Chuck Noll.
Wow. How about that?
Chuck has what, though?
193.
Oh, Super Bowls.
He has a lot to talk about. Breaking news: the NFL has called a mulligan on the Joe Mixon thing. Although they find him, they find him again. I think they revised one and find him again. And
we're calling him out.
Jimmy Butler's been suspended for another 2 games.
Good for Jimmy.
He missed the flight.
Oh.
Was going to show up later.
When you want out, you get what you want.
I guess.
When you're that rich, yeah, go ahead. Find me.
Uh-huh.
Find me. Jets hire Aaron Glenn. Ben Johnson introduced in Chicago. 2 franchises extremely excited about what it's like to have a new head coach. So us Cowboy fans, we're going to live vicariously through them. Coming up here on The Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds, nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the InBody 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. RJ Ochoa will join us coming up at 4:35.
That's going to be comical.
Just vent, get it off your chest.
Of course.
That's what we do here. And we give away things. We got a $50 gift card to the Melting Pot over there at Blanco and Bitters as they're celebrating their restaurant renovation, 20 years in San Antonio. Make fondue memories and enjoy a new modern look and feel, including an elevated bar. Perfect for down to fondue happy hour with half-price cheese and chocolate fondue every Monday through Friday from 5 to 7.
Wow.
You want a $50 gift card to the Melting Pot? Be caller number 9 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9, $50 to the Melting Pot. Kind of place that, I don't know, Brian Schottenheimer would go to celebrate getting a new job.
You think so?
Why not?
Fondue place?
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that. I like dipping stuff in the fondue, the cheese and the chocolate.
The chocolate.
Yeah.
The chocolate for me. Yeah.
Well, the cheese is good, too.
It is, but if I got my option between cheese and chocolate, I'm going chocolate all day.
Well, it depends.
Well, on what?
I might have cheese, for dinner and then the chocolate for dessert.
If I can go to a place where I can get dessert for dinner, that's right up my alley.
Well, good for you. I got to have some real food first.
Well,
that would be the cheese.
I mean, there's other. Oh yeah, cheese. You cheese ball.
Jeez.
Come on. Been a while since I've been to the Melting Pot.
Yeah, no, it'd be a good place to go. I know Maggie would like that place.
Yeah, absolutely.
She
I remember when Erica was in high school, we did, I don't know, something over there a couple different times. It's a fun spot. Glad they've renovated and added the elevated bar.
Yeah.
We'll have to put that on we got to go check that out, see what's up.
I agree.
Cowboy fans not really excited about the idea of who's going to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Although we're Cowboy fans, we'll bitch about it initially, then we're going to be on board and see what happens. When it's official and, all right, let's see what happens. That's what you could do. But we're not going to have the same level of excitement that they're having right now with the New York Jets or with the Chicago Bears because both of those are considered home run hires. Everybody that the Cowboys seem to be talking to right now, you would call a bunt single, because you can't call it a strikeout or a foul out because they are going to hire somebody, but there's no real excitement there. Ben Johnson getting introduced today to the Chicago Bears, and just even him walking into the building, and granted, it reminded me of when D'Amico Ryans walked into the building there in Houston, and everybody in the organization excited to see hope coming through the doors.
Everyone get back to work. Listen, thank you so much. My family and I, we are beyond excited. This is exactly where we wanted to be. This is exactly where we want to be. Where we want you. This is going to be a challenge. I am well aware of that. I know what this division's about. And this is exactly where we want to be. We're going to go after this thing, and it's going to take all of us in this room. It's going to take this locker room. It's nothing more important than that locker room and us serving that locker room and those players. All right? They need to understand that, and they need to feel that from us every single day. And if we do that, the wins are going to come. The playoffs are going to come. All right? Can't wait to get to know you guys. And thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you.
Well, that building was excited. You could see it in the video. Everybody was excited. They're happy to have Ben Johnson there. I think that's who everybody wanted, including Caleb Williams, who said he was just he screamed when somebody called him and told him that it was going to be Ben Johnson. So he's excited about it.
With the real call. He was excited when he got pranked by those kids that it was going to be Ben Johnson, but it ultimately happened. And again, even Ben Johnson, his introductory press conference, he knew all the right buzzwords to hit on.
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league. Having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
He knows where he's at.
Absolutely.
He's done his homework.
You know, it's going to take some time for him, though, although I think he's got a pretty good foundation there in Chicago. But they've got to do something with that offensive line, which seems to be a problem for most NFL teams, not named the Detroit Lions, because theirs was pretty good. He doesn't have 2 great running backs, and some of the talent that the Lions had offensively, he doesn't have. That's going to have to be something he's going to have to work on. And was his offensive genius because of those good players? Obviously, yes. And will he be able to do the same thing with what he's got there in Chicago?
Well, and again, he's got so much talent, which is why this year's Bears team was so damn disappointing. Because while they ended up with the number 1 overall pick and they got Caleb Williams, they weren't that bad of a team. And then, then you look at Rome and you look at some of the talent, and you're like, how are they this bad? Of course, typical Bears, although not just Bears, we see this. You get the quarterback in there, and in that first year, you're firing coaches and making all these changes. This is a change that should have happened a year ago.
Yes.
All right, we got the number 1 overall pick. We're getting Caleb Williams, who is the best coach for Caleb Williams. And a year later, they get that guy. Because even, I know when you talk about it with Dak, it always, everybody, rolls their eyes, but whatever your quarterback is, you've got to get a coach that can get the most out of that quarterback. Bottom line, every quarterback is a system quarterback. And that is the one positive, if you will, for Brian Schottenheimer to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Although I can already see his eyes rolling in the background. R.J. Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com. He is going to bitch about Schotty next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, I tell you, it doesn't matter how I sleep at night. Honestly, the best thing about getting up in the morning after a couple of cups of coffee is getting in the shower. Because of my Kinetico quality water softener, it just rejuvenates you, the way that it feels, and you just feel cleaner than a normal shower. It's great. It just kind of gets your day off to a good start early in the morning. I love it. It has been a game changer for me. When we got the Kinetico quality water softener in our house, I was a bit skeptical. I've told you guys this before, but it is a game changer. It is better than any other water softener I have ever had, and I've had a few over the years, that's for sure, because you have to have one here in San Antonio and South Texas, and Kinetico knows that. So they make their water softener with San Antonio and South Texas in mind. What I love about it is you don't plug it in. It does not run on electricity, but it certainly provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Best warranty coverage in the business. You're not going to find a more solid warranty in the industry, so you're going to have that peace of mind as well. But I have had no issues with mine, not one, since we got it. It has been fantastic. And right now, Kinetico's got a great deal for all of you listening. For a limited time, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they will install right at your kitchen sink. That's incredible, and it is a game changer as well. By the way, they're going to give you $400 off your trade-in of your old water softener, and they're going to offer 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. But you got to keep in mind, this is a limited time offer. It will end soon, so don't hesitate. Give Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country a call. Do it now. 656-PURE, 656-7873. You can also check them out online at KineticoSA.com. And when you give them a call at 656-PURE, let them know your old buddy Joe sent you.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
We've given Edwin and Vic the day off for Martin Luther King Day.
I didn't realize.
No, this is it's like corporate mandated.
It's kind of like
only whites working
it's
today.
It's kind of like being Jewish on Christmas Day.
Damn it. He sucks.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
my check engine light's on.
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
This whole report for free?
That's right, printed and on your phone for free.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone. AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Shoddy time. RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com. Just based on tweets I've seen, not real happy about this, although tweet just now from bloggingtheboys.com says a closer look at Brian Schottenheimer's offense over the years. I think the tweet said his Schotty has a better history than you might think. Are you pumping out articles to make yourself feel better and buy into the idea that it might be Schotty time in Dallas?
Well, first of all, pitchers and catchers report in like 3 weeks or something. That's really all I have to look forward to from a sports perspective, clearly. That article was not written by me. That was written by one of our can't believe he's still an optimist named David Howman. He's a dude, fellow Sun Devil, so I'll allow it. Did allow it on the site.
You are the editor.
This is bad. I mean, like, this is. You ever see the movie Poseidon? Like, the boat's flipping upside down right now. Like, that's where we're at.
The boat's flipping upside. Okay, so look, we heard one so-called expert on ESPN, RJ, say that this is the perfect fit for the Dallas Cowboys because it gives Dak Prescott continuity in the offense. And, of course, it's all about Dak Prescott because we can't be changing offenses on the poor guy.
Yeah, you know what, Joe? It makes a lot of sense to establish continuity for Dak. Keep his offensive coordinator, screw keeping the head coach and the play caller, right? Like, that level of continuity clearly isn't important. And look, I know that that's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing, and this might surprise at least Joe. To hell with whatever Dak thinks. Like, I'm so sick of, like, catering to him, and I'm a big fan of his, but, like, this idea of, oh, man, well, he knows offense, so he'll learn another one. Oh, well, he really liked Kellen Moore. That's great. I mean, he's an adult. Like, this idea that you have to acquiesce to the franchise quarterback's, like, demands is insane. It's also hypocritical, again, because they moved on from McCarthy and they've dragged Dak through the mud several times over by way of contract extension. But now this decision is the one where we're going to listen to him. Dak should certainly be consulted. I'm not, saying anything beyond that. But the idea that he should have a serious level of input on who they're going to pick to be the head coach is certain.
The reality, though.
Smart today, RJ.
RJ. Well, no, and I don't disagree with you, but he is the highest paid player in the NFL. You've invested in him. You need somebody that's going to get the most out of him. I'm with you. I don't give a damn if Dak likes you, but Dak seems to like everybody. Is he the right guy for the job? He wants to call plays, according to Jane Slater from the NFL Network. Jerry has wanted walk-around head coaches and an offensive coordinator calling plays. And I'm curious of the other Jane Slater report because he's interviewing for both the head coach and the offensive coordinator job. Now, does that mean that maybe he's not going to be the head coach? That maybe, I don't know, a Robert Saleh could end up being the head coach, and then you would have Schotty calling plays because that's what he's going to demand as the offensive coordinator. That's my sliver of hope with he's interviewing for both jobs at the same time.
I think Robert Saleh is probably the top candidate in Jacksonville now that Liam Cohen withdrew his name. So, look, I don't enjoy being negative, but I think that your sliver of hope is a fraction of what it already was. again, also absurd to be interviewing Schottenheimer for the offensive coordinator position. If he's old, first of all, he already had that job. So,
his contract expired. You got to re-interview for your job, sir.
Yeah, but maybe interview with the guy who'll be your boss. And I know we'll all say, like, oh, well, that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, so imagine, you're like the head coach is going to be Jason Minix. And, hey, check it out. Already interviewed and hired your offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer. This isn't a Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett thing. He's just here. He's our figurehead. We actually, though, do have a Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett thing going on with a different guy who's going to be on your staff than Jason Witten. And that's why, like, even having these conversations about Brian Schottenheimer, quite frankly, feels pretty stupid to me because we all know that he's just a placeholder. We all know he's a bridge. We don't have to waste brain cells, thinking about his offense and how he's going to call it. All he is an hourglass that we're flipping upside down, and we're watching the grains of sand drop and drop and drop until Jason Witten is given the special crown royal prince treatment because the Joneses have smiled upon him.
Well, that's and I agree with you, RJ. I think that is the bottom line. This is a bridge. The problem is Jerry's 82 years old. That bridge can't be very long. And if you're looking to win now, you need to find the guy now. The hell with Jason Witten. I mean, and that's the problem that I have. And look, this team is in bad shape, and it's going to take a while, I think, in my opinion, to get them back to even considering making a serious Super Bowl run. And Jerry's not getting any younger. So this game that he's playing, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It does make sense if you have heard the musical stylings of Frank Sinatra. He doesn't want to win, Joe. I mean, he does, but he look, I'm a big believer in, and I've told you about that history is written by the winners. And in this game, Jerry Jones holds all the cards. He can do it his way. He would rather win that way than anything else. Winning any other way isn't winning to Jerry Jones. You're right. I completely agree with you from the standpoint of logic and reason. And in a world where gravity is 9.81 meters per second squared, but that's not the world that we're establishing and operating within here. This is like that scene in Interstellar where he's in the fifth dimension or whatever, and he's communicating through the library shelf, which I just saw that movie yesterday for the first time in my life. Pretty good. That being said, it is not about winning. This is about, if it can happen, if Jerry Jones can win his way, cool. If not, it all worked out anyway. He's already got his rings. He's already got his gold jacket. What more how much shinier can the palace get?
Great question. RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com. But I do think, even though he has rings, they're all attached to Jimmy. Jerry wants to get a ring, or more than one, but let's just start with one, doing it his way, where there's no Jimmy Johnson attached to it. The idea of the 4-hour or so interview yesterday with Schottenheimer, and today's interview, whether it's a continuation or a second interview. And if it's a second interview, he better come out of there with a contract, don't you think? What is going on in there? It's not like they're strangers.
I mean, I would not be shocked if you told me they were playing tic-tac-toe, if they were,
watching a movie?
Yeah, like maybe they're watching Interstellar. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of that long of a film. This is all just, like when the little girl goes into mom's closet and comes out with the high heels and the lipstick on. Like they're just playing dress up, man. Like that's all this is. Like they're just pretending. You know what I mean? They just have, an actual NFL team to play dress up with. And I feel badly for Brian Schottenheimer that he's the face of this dysfunction, but I don't fault him. That's where like all these fans are saying like, well, he shouldn't take the job. He should have more self-respect. Bro, there's 32 of these things. And if you're Brian Schottenheimer, yeah, you know what this whole thing is, but you hope, because hope is a dangerous thing, that you can pull it off, that you can win the Super Bowl, and then your life is forever changed. And there's people out there that are saying, well, Jason Witten should have more self-respect than to take this job. If you're Jason Witten in your weird convoluted world that helped you have the NFL career that you did, you believe you can do this. And I don't fault Jason Witten for believing that. I don't fault either of these people for falling in line with this plan. It's absurd that we've reached this stage. There have been 3 head coaches hired so far across the NFL: Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. The Cowboys did not speak, obviously, to Johnson or Glenn because they weren't able to, because of how haphazardly they approached this whole process. They didn't get a chance to speak to Mike Vrabel, even if you wanted him to be the head coach, because that whole process was taken care of by the time they were done pussyfooting around with Mike McCarthy. This whole thing is it's literally as dumb and inefficient as it could possibly be.
Well, my question is, and even a guy like Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn, even if you talk to him or even throw Mike Vrabel in there, I mean, my first question as a head coaching candidate is, what are you going to do for me, Mr. GM Jerry? Are you going to go out and spend some money? Are you going to get some free agents in here? What's the plan that you're going to put together that I have an opportunity to succeed? Because Mike McCarthy last year had no opportunity to succeed, and what he did with that football team is a minor miracle, winning 7 games. So that would be my question. If I'm any kind of reputable head coaching candidate, what are you going to do for me, and what kind of a football team are we going to have on the field?
Well, Joe, no offense to the 4 individuals, I don't think that they've interviewed a reputable candidate because they don't want to face those questions. And you could argue that they, grandmaster set up this situation to where they couldn't speak to Vrabel or Johnson or Glenn because they are reputable candidates, because they would have been laughed at. I mean, we saw that Aaron Glenn removed himself from consideration for the New England job, probably because he had, a sense that it was going to end up going to Mike Vrabel. That has never happened to the Dallas Cowboys, where a head coach says, you know what, I'm good. But it probably would have happened, right? I mean, Ben Johnson effectively said it through all the things he leaked about what he wanted in a team, and we're seeing that with Aaron Glenn now in New York. So they're not interviewing reputable candidates. They've interviewed 4 people, and you could argue that 2 of them were to satisfy the Rooney Rule. So if you exclude Robert Saleh and Leslie Frazier, the 2 people who they have seriously, allegedly considered are Kellen Moore, a former chosen son, and Brian Schottenheimer, who was literally in the building already, who is just a bridge or a placeholder so that they can get the guy they ultimately want. It's the laziest, most narcissistic, nepotism-soaked process it possibly could be.
Shaking my head because you're right. I hope that Robert Saleh was a legit interview and more so than just checking a box. I really do hope that.
I'm with you.
Out of curiosity, how on board do you think Steven is in this process? And I say that, we played a clip the other day from when Dion was signed to his Cowboys contract, and Jerry's talking about how Steven had to push him up against the wall. And you kind of feel like that happens a lot. We heard a very similar story about the Johnny Manziel pick. I mean, Steven grabbed me by the coat, but where is Steven to take him by the shirt collars and push him against the wall and say, Dad, what the hell are you doing here?
I trust Steven less at this point, honestly. And so I really don't care where he is. And I think that, those things and those stories are legendary for a reason, but those things happened when winning was a focus, when they were still building this kingdom, which is why they had to win. I mean, look, I've been to Jason's kitchen. I've never been to Joe's. But do you have an air fryer? Do you have anything like that? I imagine that you do.
I do, yes.
Everybody has an air fryer. We all went through COVID.
And why does everybody have an air fryer? Because it's easy, right? Because you can toss something in there. You don't got to think about it. It's super efficient, and the same net result is ultimately achieved. Oh, man, it's better. It's healthier. It's awesome. This is fantastic. I don't need to use the oven anymore. The Cowboys look at working hard to win championships as the oven. All of this is the air fryer, man. Like, you're getting the same goal. They're laughing at all of us who were like, y'all are so stupid for not signing Derrick Henry. They're like, that guy's at home too. He's not in the conference championship. I mean, we didn't miss out on anything. They know that the bottom line, the food that comes out of the air fryer is going to taste the exact same, and it's going to go the exact same place in the toilet with every single Dallas Cowboys season when it's all said and done, even if they were to slave over it in the oven or on the Traeger or whatever the case may be.
All right, well, let's skip the coach for just a minute and go back to the question that I would pose if I was a serious contender for the head coaching job there. What are you going to do? What kind of a team you're going to put on the field? Jason and I disagree on this, I think. I'll let him speak for himself. But I'm looking at a 3 or 4 year process here. I don't see this team being legitimate at least until then, and because they've got so many holes to fill, unless by some miracle all these young players that they draft turn into to good players. I think it's going to be a long haul. What do you think, RJ?
Well, assuming that he disagrees with you, I agree with Jason, because you're looking
Smart
at a
man.
Washington team that is in the NFC Championship game after a year's worth of work, right? I mean, the NFL is a pay-driven league. It's designed for things like this to happen, which underscores how unbelievable it is that the Cowboys haven't even been into an NFC Championship game since 1995. It's actually statistically harder to be this consistently bad than it is for you to luck into a random appearance on a one-off year. And so, I mean, they could fix this. I mean, people ask things like, well, what are they going to do with the 12th overall pick? I mean, I don't know. Is that pick worth 12 players? Because that's kind of what you need. But if in free agency you go out, you address the trenches, you sign a corner, you sign a wide receiver, you pull off some trades similar to Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, all of a sudden you significantly elevate the floor. At the end of the day, there are 5 money positions in the NFL: quarterback, left tackle, wide receiver, corner, and pass rusher. The Cowboys have 4 of those things in a general sense if you want to count Trayvon Diggs. They don't necessarily have a prominent answer at left tackle right now. I mean, those things can be a rising tide that lifts the boats around them. So, I mean, you factor into that there'll be some regression to the mean for Washington. At some point, Philadelphia can't be a playoff team year in and year out. Thank God the Giants exist. I mean, they could totally win the NFC East next year without even really trying, which is why it's so frustrating that they won't take advantage of the players that they have already found.
Yeah, I agree. When you think about what they have, and it starts with the quarterback, and I know there's people that will debate whether Dak can actually lead this team to a championship, but he is one of the better quarterbacks, top half quarterbacks in the NFL. So if you've got that position figured out, the rest is a little easier to fall in place. You get another receiver opposite of CeeDee Lamb, that weapon there. You know, you get a Jake Ferguson who regressed this year. If he can get back to playing like he was 2 years ago, offensive line with a little more experience. How do you replace DeMarcus Lawrence? I don't see him coming back, especially at the salary that he was getting. But, you know, some of those guys that were injured, if they're healthy, and I know they're ifs, but
there's a bunch of ifs you're throwing out there right now.
No, all on health. But that's every team. Ask San Francisco. If healthy, they're pretty damn good. This year, they weren't healthy. I think the Cowboys have a lot more players than you're giving them credit for.
I think that's well said. And there will be regression to the mean in a positive sense for Dallas. I mean, this isn't, you can't like set your watch by this, but historically speaking, you know, in 2020, the 2 teams who were most injured or who lost the most games due to injury were San Francisco, as Jason noted, and Dallas. And in 2021, there was an enormous amount of positive regression to the mean for both teams. Obviously, they met in the playoffs and the Niners kicked the Cowboys' ass. So those things will happen, and those things happen negatively to other teams. You could argue it happened negatively to the Cowboys this past season on top of all the absurdity and chaos that they incited upon themselves. So, yeah, I mean, look, think about the jobs that have been filled already. I mean, the Jets were able to find one of the top candidates in the pool before the Cowboys could. The Jets don't have a quarterback. Sure, Garrett Wilson exists, but he's not on CeeDee Lamb's level. They certainly don't have a Micah Parsons. They have been the Jets for forever and might have a more meddlesome owner than Jerry Jones is, which is really saying something. Yet they somehow still got one of the bells of the ball to say, I will dance with you. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are leaning up against the wall like a weird wallflower.
Well, they actually called one of those guys. Saying that it helps to call one, to actually interview one, to see if they'll do the job. The Cowboys didn't even do that. And I'm glad you guys are optimistic. I really am that you're optimistic. Keep in mind the Washington Command Skins have brand new ownership. Everything changed there. Under Dan Snyder, they were a train wreck and would still be a train wreck if Dan Snyder was still there. So that's a big if. Cowboys aren't changing ownership anytime soon. That's not going away. And again, I will say this. You guys are confident Dak Prescott will be back in all his glory. I'm not. I'm not sure Trayvon Diggs will be back in all his glory. Another serious injury for him. Then you've got DeMarvion Overshown, who was playing like a beast, who has a serious injury. There's a lot of problems with this Cowboys team. It's going to take more than 1 year to fix.
Those are fair points. But to your point, you just turned a third-round pick into DeMarvion Overshown. That can happen, right? Like, you can catch that lightning in a bottle. But
sure.
You have to work. You have to do some things, and you provide yourself more room for error if you are aggressive in free agency, not just in signing players, but again, in the veteran trade market. You have to do that. I mean, you simply have to. And the Cowboys sitting by and doing nothing and putting all of the pressure on their players, and God forbid Brian Schottenheimer, is not the way to go about it. and they'll lose and they'll fail, and all the national shows will pin it on all of them, and they'll forget that we were all killing the front office here in January and February. But I mean, going about it this way is just hoping that maybe these small handful of players can be the lightning rod that, you know, helps you ride the wave of favor. Maybe it's your turn. Maybe you finally do pull it off. But these other teams put themselves in positions where they have that room for – Jalen Hurts sucks, right? Like, we all agree that he actually kind of sucks as a quarterback, but he can suck because his team is so good. So when he has those small handful of not sucking moments, it helps amplify the overall end game for Philadelphia. They will not put Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons in those situations. They demand that they be Supermans, that they don't have to get off the couch and do any work themselves.
RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. RJ, with Schotty getting a second interview, I think we're all at the same level of you got to be kidding me. Almost said a bad word. It almost gives me a little bit more excitement for Kellen Moore. Like, man, could they bring in Kellen Moore? Like, I don't want the idea there is, like, I don't really know what Schotty's done for the last couple of years. You've probably paid attention to his press conferences, but he didn't call plays. I don't know what he's done while in Dallas, except maybe butt heads with Mike McCarthy, according to some reports.
I mean, when you're the offensive coordinator and don't call plays, you handle install throughout the week, and
sure,
that's a real thing. But I mean, it's mostly nothing, to your point. And I don't know that I buy that this whole thing is so that we will approve of Kellen Moore or Jason Witten. Because I don't think the Cowboys care if we approve. I mean, they've already gone down this path.
They should do a Twitter poll.
Well, I think that's giving them more credit, right? Like, actually believing that they have a plan that requires several steps. I don't think they're capable of that, to be quite honest. And you're right, though, Jason. Kellen Moore, or as a great person I know once called him Little Kellen Moore, or Jason Witten, at this point, I would take. And maybe they are counting on it. Maybe they are hoping that we just get beat down as a fan base. But like, the idea of hiring Brian Schottenheimer and then, you know, throwing Jason Witten out there is actually frustrating to me. Not because I'm mad at you being a dumb football team. You are, don't get me wrong. But it's because you're just wasting time. Like, the Brian Schottenheimer shouldn't even exist. If you are so desperate to make Jason Witten your head coach because he is your, you know, the guy you went on vacation with and he started more games or played more games than anybody in franchise history, whatever dumb way you want to cope yourself into believing this, then just do it, man. And I don't say just do it because I think it's an idea. I say just do it because I want to accelerate coping myself. I want to accelerate trying to convince myself that this is a good idea. I know it's not, but start the bad movie. It's Fast and the Furious 11 at this point in time. Just send the cars out there, drive real fast, go to outer space, bring the Rock in, Diesel, I don't care, whatever, but start the movie. I don't need this time wasted under Brian Schottenheimer.
Amen. Just hire Witten right now. Let's go.
I do want to ask you guys a question. I saw that apparently they're going to make an Ocean's 14. Do you think this is necessary, or have we gone too far?
Yeah, too far.
Too far. Too far.
I'd rather have Ocean's 97 than Brian Schottenheimer, to be clear.
Wow. I thought by the time we got through with this, RJ, you would have gotten it off your chest and be in a better mood, but you circle back with that. Like, this has done nothing to help your anger. On the day of your wife's birth, you need to get into a better mood so you can celebrate appropriately later today. And I just don't know if you're in the proper mindset for that.
You know, I kind of now organize my hatred and just, like, disgust for life in general towards this team. And it used to feel unwarranted, but now I feel like they've earned every single bit of it. So this is therapy for me. I guess I'll talk to Pledge about the copay. But it's been nice and also horrible at the same time. And I am absolutely dreading the announcement that Brian Schottenheimer is the 10th coach in Dallas Cowboys franchise history. I mean, like, the how this proud organization has fallen into the cellar, down the bedrock, I mean, it's just a real pity and a real shame.
I just hope the announcement doesn't start flowing out on Twitterverse in the middle of Cammie's birthday dinner. Do something special for her tonight.
Pissed at them. If it happens tonight, I mean, I'm going to be 10 times more pissed than I would be if they did it tomorrow morning.
Well, happy birthday to your wife, RJ.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, It's going to be okay.
Yeah, birthday dinner, no phones allowed, sir.
Yeah.
That's right. By the way, Interstellar, kind of a good movie in case nobody's ever said that before.
All right, good stuff.
Thanks.
RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. This coaching search is going to ruin Cammie's birthday dinner.
Well, it probably will. Hopefully it goes away and nothing happens tonight, and they wait till tomorrow to announce that Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach and go from there. Again, if the goal is to just buy time to put Jason Witten in, just put him in. I mean, just put him in. I don't understand why why wait.
He's not ready.
He's not ready.
Jerry's going to get criticized.
So he's getting the Arch Manning treatment.
Kind
of. Yeah.
Here we go.
He's not ready.
Yeah. Let's talk Pop and the Spurs coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're like me, this cold weather, it sucks. I mean, it really does, because you can't go outside and you can't do the things that you love, like play golf. Well, this weekend it's going to be better. I looked at my phone, and the temperatures are going to get up in the 60s this weekend, and it's going to be much better. So it's a good time for you right now to go to golfclubtexas.com, golfclubtexas.com, and make your tee times for this weekend. We got some NFL football on Sunday. Again, it's going to start later in the afternoon, so make your tee time for early. Go play some golf, have some fun. And then you and your buddies and invite your family or whoever you want out there to watch the football game there at the Golf Club of Texas. Perfect place to do that. The golf course, despite all the cold weather, is in great shape. It's in fantastic shape. You need to get out there. And I guarantee you, once you step foot out there, if you haven't been out there, you're going to think you're at a country club. Not a country club, though. It's open to the public 7 days a week. It is a fantastic place. The golf course is improved. New sod out there. They've got brand new cart paths out there as well. It looks fantastic. Go out there. And if you haven't tried the food at the Tin Cup, well, you're missing out. I'm going to tell you, it's some of the best food in town at reasonable prices. In fact, it's the best sit-down restaurant in that part of San Antonio. Look, get on out to the Golf Club of Texas. Get outside while we can, while the weather is good. And this weekend, it's going to be good. So make your tee times now. You know where it is, the Golf Club of Texas, right there off Briggs Ranch Road, off Highway 90. Whether you're going out for dinner at the Tin Cup, around with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates, again, always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play, up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at GMTVCC.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rock's the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rock's has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the InBody 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rock's know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NFL has done it. They have rescinded the fine against Texans running back Joe Mixon. He never said what he said, what they fined him for the first time. But then they turn around and find him again for something he actually did say. The soap opera continues. New York Jets have the new head coach. Aaron Glenn has been hired. Glenn, who was the team's first-round draft choice in '99, played 8 seasons for the Jets. He is now their head coach.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. It is a Wednesday.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day. Hump
day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
It's hard.
Definitely
yes,
hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
I mean,
I can't even blame. I forgot about it too.
Well,
you go. It's Wednesday, and then I went, oh,
Well, what do you mean you didn't forget, Pledge?
It was in there. The log must have been remerged from the last hour.
Uh-huh.
No worries. No worries. Happy
Your
hump day,
definition
everybody.
of what is all in and mine might not be the same thing.
Yeah,
Might not.
Something must have happened. I don't know.
That's
Happened by,
obvious,
yeah.
Jera. No doubt about it. I hope you're having a great hump day. Yeah, it was a beautiful day today. It was cold, but it was pretty.
It was, but you know what? We all missed out on an opportunity yesterday.
Uh-oh.
We all did. We missed out on an opportunity.
What did we do?
It's what we didn't do.
Oh.
Now, this is coming from Philadelphia, where their mayor can't even spell the team's mascot.
Let me hear you all say E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
What?
Let's go, Birds!
ELG, I think is what she says.
That's the mayor of Philadelphia trying to have a rally.
Wow.
So you hear that and you go, well, and then you see what was a smart idea for dumb people. And this is where we missed out yesterday with our blizzard of 2025. Because the Philadelphia Eagles are selling snow from the game. Pints of snow authenticated from the field for $50 a pint.
And those goofballs are buying it. Why would you do that?
We missed out. We could have sold San Antonio snow. We could have driven down to Galveston. It never snows there.
It did yesterday.
In the Gulf of America. It's been that for a day, and it snowed. Here is snow from the Gulf of America.
Dude, I don't understand that. Seriously. I mean, are Eagle fans that dumb?
Well,
are you going to buy snow from the stadium?
From a stadium where it snows all the time.
Exactly.
Right? I've been there when it snowed. But what do? You get a pint of snow, and they will ship it to you in dry ice. Well, they'll add shipping fees on there. And then what do? You can't put it on a shelf.
And how are you going to convince anybody it's actually legit?
Well, because it's going to come with the authentication deal.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The authenticated by the realist and its authentication partner, Truest. Each pint has been certified as official game day snow.
Boy, can't wait to part with $50. Now, Tom Z on our YouTube page says, I don't know if he did this or somebody did that, sold rain from a Taylor Swift concert on eBay.
Well, I remember they did that in Boston.
The rain.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to OnlyFans, man. If people are selling snow and rain, I'm taking pictures of the feet. They're going on
and
OnlyFans,
how pissed
man.
are you going to be when you don't sell one toe picture, yet somebody's buying snow from Philadelphia?
Dude, I mean, are you
Joe's
kidding
toes.
me? People are selling rain and
the
snow.
Swifties.
Well, I
Who's
don't care.
lining up to see your feet?
Well, maybe I'll make something up. You know,
Joe's
Taylor Swift
toes.
saw these
Yummy.
toes, and she approves.
What?
Dude, I
What
just feel
dream
like
were you having
I
where she
feel-
approved of seeing any part of your skin?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Oh, we know.
Dude,
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
I don't understand. It makes no sense. So if they can do it, I got to at least give this a shot.
Toes only?
The fireplace going tonight.
No, please don't.
Take some snapshots of that. I won't send it to you.
Thank God.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to investigate. Maybe, I don't know, paint a butterfly on the top or something. Yeah, we're getting weird now. But if it puts money in my pocket.
Candy Lee.
Exactly. Change my name to Candy Lee.
How does this snow story end up about your damn toes?
Because I don't understand people buying snow or rain from a Taylor Swift concert. Who gives a damn? It's rain from a Taylor Swift concert. And people are buying this stuff?
Well, I mean, just because somebody puts it for sale, I don't know how much of it was sold. But this is actually being sold by the Eagles. Commemorative snow pints.
Well, they must obviously know their audience. We can sell this. They're Eagle fans. They're just blindly dumb, and they're following the Eagles, and we can sell them anything.
The container.
Yes, see?
Dude, I just went to the link. It's sold out.
You see? You see what I'm saying?
At $50 a pint. And it says we're going to limit it to 100 pints.
100 pints. So $5,000 they just made.
It's sold out. Snow collected from the end zone at Lincoln Financial Field after the Eagles' playoff win over the Rams, packaged in insulated containers with dry ice and detailed care instructions.
I want video.
What do you think those detailed care? Put this in the freezer. I will say they put it in a commemorative-looking Ben & Jerry's ice cream container pint is what it looks like. A divisional round winner, Philadelphia Lincoln Financial Field playoff field snow, which is far better than regular season field snow. The date is on there. It says on the label, keep frozen.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Jeez.
But you go here, it's sold out. It's sold out.
Dude, that's unbelievable. I mean, I'm telling you.
Why would they limit it to 100?
Well,
there's a lot of snow there. Is that all would fit in their bag on the way out? You know, there's some idiots out there. They can't even spell Eagles. Thanks, Pledge. Right on the money.
Dude, I don't get that at all. That's crazy. But I'm telling you, there's money to be made in this country because there are a lot of people that will spend money for crap.
Shipping is available within the United States only. To ensure the field snow arrives in pristine condition, each order is shipped in an insulated package with 2 pounds of dry ice to maintain optimal preservation. The $15 shipping fee covers all necessary materials
$15.
And handling to securely deliver this unique collectible.
And then what's going to happen, Eagle fan, you're going to put that in the freezer. They're going to get drunk one night, and they're going to eat it. They're going to think it's ice cream. I mean, think about that. Saquon Barkley probably spit on that when he was he might have gotten that. Could have been somebody peeing all over the place during that football game.
I need some help from the audience here. I don't have time to research this. Do other teams do this? Because as I'm looking at this website with the sold-out field snow from their playoff field snow, it's the related items. I keep going down. There's field grass in these fancy little bottles that kind of look like spices you would use. Put that in your spice rack. But they got game-used field grass clippings from a variety of games, and all of them say sold out.
That's nuts.
This is great. Wait, hang on. It is available for the Green Bay win, $29.99. You can get that. You can get field grass from the win over the Cowboys on $12.29. Those are still available.
Field grass
clippings. And it looks like something when you're barbecuing and you're like, man, let's get this one in, put it on there. But a lot of them are sold out.
You know what Jerry ought to do?
What is Jerry going to do?
Bottle up some sunshine from that window he won't close and sell it.
Dude.
Huh?
He could.
Yeah, just
exactly.
get a Ben & Jerry's container, a little sunshine in there, put the lid on there.
No, see, that's good. You need one. Look at these. They look like something that you would have your spices in.
There you go.
It would have to be a clear bottle so you could see the sunshine.
That's right.
Yes.
And just it's in there.
Absolutely. Bottled sunshine. We'll get an authenticator.
There you go.
That we captured the air at 3:48 in November.
And if we make it where it's the one sunshine that got in CD's eyes.
Oh.
That would triple the price.
It did blind him. Although, see, I've looked into that sun many times. It is a pain in the ass. He should, sell all that sunshine so you can buy some damn curtains.
No curtains for Jerry.
They do have curtains. They put them up for other events.
They do.
They do.
Just catch the damn football.
I'm so mad I can't buy that snow.
You can?
No, it's sold out.
Well, I'd send it in anyway. You never know. They might come up with something. There's snow all over Philadelphia. How would you know?
Not from that end zone.
Well, you don't know.
Not from that end zone. I know because they've already told me it's sold out.
So the other end zone isn't good enough?
They're not allowed to collect over there. That's probably another company.
Wow.
This company, authenticated snow from the field.
What was it, the game-winning end zone that Saquon rushed for that beat the Rams ultimately?
I don't know. It didn't say.
Might have been.
It doesn't say that Saquon stepped on this snow.
Well, they could charge double if that happened.
Oh, man. The fact that people bought $50 worth of that to put it in their freezer, never to see their collectible again.
That's incredible.
I just can't believe how much of this grass has been sold.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's money to be made in this country by selling it to people that would buy anything.
We missed out. We missed out.
Not yet.
San Antonio Blizzard 2025 snow is all gone. You can't go find that anywhere.
I could go pull up some of the grass in the backyard so there was snow on it.
But you're not getting the snow.
I'm just saying.
It's part of my apartment that doesn't get sun. There was still snow there this morning.
It ain't there now. It's not there. Our snow doesn't last a couple of weeks like places in Philadelphia.
Wow.
So disappointing. Let's talk some Spurs coming up. Spurs playing. See, now I'm getting all these. Carl says, what if they sent you yellow snow? No? Well, I mean, it's from the field, and Philly's known to piss on you, so it could have been.
Yeah.
But they had to charge more for that. Crazy. Spurs do play tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up. An update on Pop. You think about that game tomorrow. Tip-off is at 1 o'clock because they're playing in France. So what you need to do is get into the Rue Pub for lunch and then stick around and watch the game. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road, no better place to go watch any big game, any big event, and go hungry because the food is fantastic. They got that great bison burger on the menu that Ryan Eagle has yet to try. They got 15 other burgers on the menu. The wings are incredible. I love the fried shrimp, chicken sandwich. The hot dogs there are great. I'm told the salads are wonderful, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. Rue Pub has happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, so it's happy hour during a Spurs game tomorrow. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio. Now at North Park Chevrolet, buy a new 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, posted at $34,999. Lease for $370 a month with zero down. Get 3.9% financing for 75 months on new 2025 Silverado Crew Cab Texas editions. And save $10,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado heavy duty trucks. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back. My emotions are stable and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Score big with LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, the MVPs of the field. LS Tractors, the star quarterbacks of farming, perfect for tough tasks for farm, ranch, and landscaping. Dietz Tractors has your all-star coaching staff for top-notch equipment. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships with unmatched dealer support for parts and maintenance. It's a winning strategy that goes beyond the final whistle. Don't miss the game-winning move. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors. Start blue, stay blue at Dietz Tractor in Seguin.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Man, I love you guys. Already a YouTube user with the name Yellow Brown Snow. And his comment, hey, Joe, I got a cup of fresh stuff for you.
Yeah, what is it?
Huh?
What is it?
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
He's Yellow Brown Snow on YouTube.
So I'm supposed to just pretend that it's got yellow brown snow?
I don't think that'd be pretending if you got that snow.
That's probably what they're selling in Philly. Yellow brown snow.
You know, somebody on YouTube said, why don't they do midfield snow? Wouldn't that cost more? Like right off the midfield logo.
Sure. Well, somebody would buy it.
Well, I mean, couldn't you sell your snow that way? You want end zone snow? That's like end zone seats. You want 50-yard line snow? That's going to cost you more. That's a premium.
Jeez. Unbelievable what people will pay for.
They really.
It's nuts.
Absolutely.
Well, people got too much money in this world, I guess. You know, throw down $65 for a cup of snow.
Exactly, with $15 shipping.
Yeah.
It's the grass, you know, and hey, man, you're paying $30 for a what?
I remember when they sold the seats at the old Texas Stadium, something like that. I get.
I've got a couple of
right?
those.
I get that.
Yeah.
But a cup of snow? What do you do when you get, hey, Fred, hey, let's go to the freezer. I got something to show you. Here. Your friends are going to be impressed. Oh, wow, that's great.
Again.
Jeez.
They're not the brightest bunch up there in Philadelphia.
No, they're not.
Ask the mayor of Philadelphia.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
Yeah, that's the mayor of Philadelphia at a rally for the Eagles.
E-L-G.
Yeah. Eagles?
Eagles? Eagles?
Let's hear that one more time.
E-L-G-S-E-S.
Wait a minute. E-L-G-E-C-S? I have no idea what she said. Right?
E-L-G-S-E-S.
Yeah, I have no clue what she just spelled.
Do you think that's a C?
Sounds like a C, right?
E-L-G-S-E-S.
Or Z. A Z? Eagles.
there a Niner in there?
I'm not. There's a lot going on in that. I know a radio station in D.C. immediately put up shirts for sale that say in those command skin colors, fly, ELGSES, fly, and then the 106.75, the fan logo. So they're going ELGSES.
Yeah, but it sounds like a C or a Z in there somewhere.
E-L-G-S-E-S.
Maybe that was a V like in Victor.
You're the mayor of Philadelphia leading a chant where they spell out Philadelphia. And if she's from there, haven't they been doing that since, I don't know, grade school?
Well, you would think so. Is she new? Did she just win the election? I'm not sure.
I'm guessing a re-election is going to be an issue because if I'm running against her, that's my campaign right there. This what you want running our city?
Yeah.
E-L-G-S-E-S.
Attention to detail, anybody?
Sounds like a V to me.
Jacob Eric asks, is that a player? No, that's the mayor of Philadelphia at a rally.
Yes.
For the Eagles, trying to get everybody to have that ridiculous chant. And anybody in America that can spell eagle.
Well, I'm just wondering, everybody saying my hearing's bad. You're hearing a C, right? Pledge?
E-L-G-S-E-S.
What is it if it's not a C or a V?
Pledge is hearing C too.
I'm hearing C right before the S.
Yes, or I'm almost hearing a V. It's crazy.
I don't know. It's the old Nick Trey from We 94.5. Apparently, in the middle of he's playing music over there down the hall and listening to us. He's asking if he can buy a vowel.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's enough vowels in there. Wow.
E-L-G-S-E-S.
Maybe that is a G. ELGSES, according to Alexandra.
Well, that's what the
and Fred Villarreal.
That's what the DC sports station has on their shirts.
Well, that makes sense then.
ELGSES. But you're hearing CES.
Well, not anymore, because now that I know it's a G, it's.
Well, you don't know it's a G. I don't know if. Let's hear it one more time.
E.
Okay, E.
E-L-G-S-E-S.
ELGSES.
Yeah, I think that's it. ELGSES.
Who? Well, you say it with an X.
Elgsis.
Yeah, Elksis. Go Philadelphia Elksis.
It's not Elks. There's no K in there.
Well, it's instead of Eagles, it's Elgas.
E-L-G-S-E-S. Eagles.
Wow.
It's just comical.
Oh, it's comical. It's kind of embarrassing.
Kinda?
For them.
I mean, if eggs weren't so expensive, it'd be all over her house.
Well, no kidding. I tell you, I'm with you, though. Anybody running against her for mayor of Philly? There's your ad right there. I'm running that thing constantly.
Some things you never live down.
No.
I was going to say lighten the mood, but that entertains me.
It is funny.
It's funny as hell.
It's Philly.
We got a pair of Billy Idol tickets to give away.
Billy Idol, huh?
Billy Idol.
Dude, he's got to be 80.
Pretty close, I'd guess. How old do you think Billy Idol is?
It's a good question. I know the answer to this because I looked it up earlier.
How old is Billy Idol?
He's 69.
Not quite 80.
Well, it's pushing 80.
Did you look up his famous songs?
White Wedding.
Okay. How many more can you name?
I know that one.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that I can name any more than that. And I listen to Billy Idol, but again, I don't.
It's something you do all the time.
Know the names of
all the time.
It's something I do.
Yes. See you at Pigs dancing with yourself.
Uh-huh. Well, There's usually a crowd of 80-year-olds standing around me.
The cradle of love. And you young whippersnapper in your rebel yell.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now it's coming back to me.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming back to me now.
To be a lover. All of that's right there. Is Ryan Eagle at picks. Billy Idol with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Oh, wow.
May 4th at the Moody Center.
That's cool.
It's a nice day to tour again.
Oh, nice.
Is the name of this tour.
Yeah, Joan Jett's 66.
Is she really?
Yeah, that's what the Google say. 66.
God bless her.
Yeah.
I'm a big Joan Jett fan, but I saw her open on that Motley Crue tour, and she played like at 5:30. But it was who was on there? Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and wasn't and what?
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
No, there was another band on there.
Were they good?
They were. They were one of the better ones because I wasn't expecting much from them. Joan Jett just sounded awful.
Oh, yeah?
Joan Jett sounded like she'd been on the road for 50 years. Was it Poison on that? No, it wasn't Poison. Maybe.
They sang the song Poison.
No.
Bret Michaels' band.
Yeah. Who was on that tour? I don't remember. I know Billy Idol.
Must have been a hell of a tour, Minutes.
No, it was. It was a great show. But I'm drawing a blank on. Def Leppard was great. Motley Crue was great. Who am I thinking of? You guys will tell me.
Yeah.
If you want to go see Billy Idol and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, May 4th up in Austin at the Moody Center. Caller 12. Those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them at livenation.com. If you're having any issues with the house with your heater, maybe your plumbing, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quartermoon, they've got a great experienced staff. No commissioned sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. And obviously, this time of year, if your heater goes out, you need somebody that will get you fixed right away. That is Quartermoon. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. Hey, we're getting you ready for an early one. Spurs play at 1.
And we are one day closer to the NFL playoffs. I guess we better start digging into these games. Morning Huddle, party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma.
She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsecured.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, price lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Simonix. Tomorrow, Forrest Whitley is going to join us on the Blitz at 4:35.
Astros pitcher, hometown kid. He's still a kid, right?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Dude, I remember watching him pitch at Alamo Heights.
Absolutely.
For a high school pitcher, you think, I'm a little surprised, although because of injuries, he hasn't had more success yet at the big league level yet. But the way things are shaping up, hopefully this is the year for him. And there's room in the rotation for him. So it'll be fun to catch up with Forrest Whitley tomorrow here on the Blitz.
It will be fun. Plus, we got a Spurs game, a little matinee out in Paris that we get to follow and a little post-game action.
1 o'clock is the tip-off, so plan your day accordingly. We will have some sort of post-game show, I suppose. But you look at where the Spurs are, and I find it interesting that over there in France, they've given us a little bit more detail, and they're talking a lot more openly about Gregg Popovich than they have while in San Antonio. And I'm not sure if there's two things in play. One, those that regularly cover the San Antonio Spurs, and they're there day in and day out, the Jeff McDonalds and the Tom Osbornes, publicly, there's no update. So you get over to France, and you've got all this other national media that is there, and quite frankly, international media that are asking questions. And at this part of the recovery from a stroke that happened in early November, there are some more positive things, although no detail, no real timetable other than plan is for Pop to return to coaching. But again, no timetable. He's getting better, and he is communicating with the team a lot daily, not just with the coaching staff in the front office, but Chris Paul said, and Paul's quote, I don't know if this is public, but he calls after every game or just about after every game.
Yeah, he said they talk, and they'll talk about how the game went and what went wrong, what went right, and all that kind of stuff. So, and which is just like calling the coaching staff, right? When you're looking at Chris Paul, because you could say he's a player coach at this point in time. But glad to see it. I'm glad Pop's still involved, and he can't be happy about the way the team is playing though right now. Last 3-7 in their last 10, and they haven't looked good getting there.
Well, and that's, like Mitch Johnson talking about interactions with Pop. I kind of wish Brian Wright would have given an answer, like with the trade deadline coming up. But, yeah, Mitch is hearing from his boss on a regular basis.
My interactions with Pop have been consistent. Phone calls, text messages. I've seen him quite a bit. So those conversations are typical in terms of the things we talk about regarding our team. Trying to get better, coaching backwards, what happened in the last game, or, what are we coming out of, and then, obviously looking ahead and what we're walking into. So with those unique circumstances that's out there, especially for people that aren't, around the day-to-day understand. But our interactions and conversations in that regard have not changed really that much. It's just trying to help our team and talking about what we see and arguing about what we think. In terms of moving forward, there's nothing that I really have capacity for other than just trying to help this team win the next game. And Pop's health has been the priority since the start of this and till ... And so that's kind of how we and I take the approach. I want the best for Pop, and I want the best for this team, and however I can help is where I'll put my energy.
Think about it, Jason. For a guy like Gregg Popovich, who has been coaching for this long, you look at the calendar, it's the middle of January, and you're not on a basketball court. You're not on a team playing. You're not coaching on the sidelines. That's got to feel really weird for Gregg Popovich.
Well, and he's going through rehab from a stroke. I mean, he turns 76 next week. January 28th is his birthday. So you look at Pop, and what I really appreciated about everything that Brian Wright said in that answer, he's arguing with Pop on what they're seeing. And I love hearing that, because Pop has allowed his coaches to coach, but it's not my way or the highway. And I think a lot of people think that that's the way it is with Pop. And maybe early in his career there was some truth to that. But I think he invites all of the ideas to get thrown up there. And Mitch is going through it. He's never been a head coach before. What is he seeing? What is Pop seeing? And the fact that he's like, okay. I like the fact that he said arguing. He's arguing with Gregg Popovich.
He did say that.
And that also, from a encouraging standpoint, maybe, good for Gregg Popovich that he's going to argue at this point. Not just, how's it going? Did Keldon show up on time? Okay. Jeremy make his free throws? Okay, cool, thanks. I mean, they're arguing about what they're seeing on the court and in the games. I love that. And my guess is Pop's probably also watching a lot of practice video, too, because that's what coaches do.
Well, I'm sure. What else has he got to do? He's going through rehab, but after that, he probably does want to watch the games and watch the film and all of that stuff. And, look, he can't be happy about the way the team has performed. And I'm hoping that that's what they're arguing about. And Pop saying, look, I want to try this. And Mitch saying, well, I did, and we want to do that. And going back and forth, and that's how it will get better. But, boy, the last 10 games just have not been good. And it's not just the fact that they're 3-7 over that last 10-game period. It's the way they've lost the games.
Yep.
And it's some of the just the quarters that they don't seem to show up in, and the halves that they don't seem to show up in. And they get big leads, and they blow them. And those things have got to be frustrating as hell, because I could seriously see this team. And ESPN just had the top 10 teams on in the Western Conference. You look at the games the Spurs have blown. Spurs could be right there in that mix right now. If you don't blow those games, especially those games where you had a double-digit lead going into halftime or whatever the case may be, the Spurs, we'd be talking about them, man, getting ready for the playoffs and getting ready for a good run. But the fact that they have just no-showed a lot of these quarters is very concerning.
Although Vegas, BetOnline has released their new because we're at the midpoint. And for the Spurs, we are at the midway point right now. They've played 41 games. Midway point of the season for most teams, they updated the win totals at BetOnline. The Spurs started the year, the over-under was 35.5 wins. The way they're playing right now, I would have expected that number to either be flat or maybe drop, but instead it's gone up. It's now 39.5. So does Vegas think, yeah, those games that they lost earlier where they blew double-digit leads, they're going to mature and get better, and those will be wins in February that weren't wins in December or January? Or are they expecting the Spurs to make a move at the deadline or before the trade deadline to really chase the playoffs this season, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Not kind of. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for. It depends, right? Because we were all looking at De'Aaron Fox, but that was when Sacramento was playing bad basketball. Sacramento has turned things around since they fired Mike Brown, and that team is playing really good basketball now, so I can't even see that Fox would be even on the table anymore with the way they're playing. They've got a realistic shot of getting into the postseason tournament and doing some damage there. So you got to wonder what teams you would have to deal with or want to deal with to make a move. And is it worth it? Look, I hope they do. They need some help. They need some scoring help on this team. And I just don't know what's out there and what's feasible.
Well, I think once they figure out the Jimmy Butler situation and Jimmy ends up in Phoenix, then maybe everybody else can figure out. And could the Spurs actually be a part of a multi-team trade? We all look at straight up, but you look at Phoenix is clearing the deck. Jimmy Butler's now been suspended for a couple more games. The last shoes that he wore in a basketball game were black and orange, very Phoenix themed, like, hey, look at me. I already got my shoes ready to go. So you wonder if at some point, and man, I hope that the Spurs don't stand pat. And I hope they're not just sellers at the deadline. I hope they don't say, hey, Chris, man, this was great. Go chase a ring. We're sending you to a contender for a bag of Fritos. And Harrison Barnes, who's, I think, been really good for this team. Go get somebody. We need a scorer, a shooter, and maybe another big. Not maybe, another big. One or the other or both. I mean, you got all the draft capital. Do something. Yeah,
you got all you need, draft capital-wise. Just everybody waiting to see what happens with Atlanta. But right now, they're in the playoff mix. So it wouldn't do the Spurs a whole heck of a lot of good, although there is another half of the season to play. It will be interesting, and I think a lot of Spurs fans would be disappointed if nothing is done. At least start the transition, at least start something. Because, again, unless they talk Chris Paul into coming back for another year, if they don't trade him away, he's gone after this year. And he will have done what he came here to do, and that's to help this team get a mentality. But so far, that ain't working. Because they don't seem to have that killer mentality right now with this team, and just no showing in some quarters. And there's only so much Chris Paul can do. The other guys got to step up and do something as well.
In reality, and who knows, it's January 22nd. With what we've seen from Chris Paul this year, we're not getting a broken down version of Chris Paul that's only going to play half the games. I wouldn't be surprised with what we've seen to this point of the season if he didn't come back next year, depending on what some of the other offseason moves are. And also, Chris Paul looks like he has plenty of gas left in the tank. If Pop is coming back next year, he would get a year with Gregg Popovich because he's been robbed of that, and that was a big reason why he came here was to play for Gregg Popovich. And certainly, I mean, it was a stroke, but he didn't get what he came here for. And I do wonder if he would run it back on another one-year deal. The way he has played this year, he doesn't look like he's at the total end.
Look, and I guess that would be fine. But, Jason, I'm ready to move on with whatever the new version of this team is going to be. And if Chris Paul wants to stick around as a coach, that would be fantastic. Love it. But what is this team going to look like moving forward? I mean, they've got to start thinking about the future and what they're going to do. And we got the magical year. It's here. The magical year of 2025.
Oh, here we go.
It's here. So, I mean, it's time to start thinking about the future of this ball club. And Chris Paul was brought in. He was sold to everybody as a guy that can teach this team how to win. Early on in the season, it was working. Lately, it hasn't been, and that's been a problem. But I want to see what this team is going to look like. You got that draft capital. Go out and use it and put a team together that is going to compete with the rest of the West.
It's been a show.
It has.
It's been a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
We don't often do this, take requests, because, well, we're not a music station. But Jacob Eric on our YouTube says, before y'all call it a night, can we hear the Philly mayor again?
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
Let's go, Birds! B-R-S-D-I.
You're a dumb butt.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I just can't even imagine the talk shows in Philadelphia and the news, whatever, and what kind of stuff this mayor is getting from everybody there in Philly.
One more time.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
Anybody you know that's an Eagle fan, you need to make that the ringtone. Every time, like I'll figure out how to do that. But my friend Ruben, who's an Eagle fan, every time that's going to be the ringtone.
Coming, right?
That makes me laugh every damn time. The morning huddle gets going 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow, so you can wake up with Rob Thompson and A.J. Hoffman. Extra innings with what's your show called? Extra innings with Pledge.
E-I-G-S-L-E.
Yeah.
With Pledge.
What? It's overtime. Coming up on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
Hump day!
Let's go, Birds!
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by